Chapter 632. A sacred Lord-level powerhouse was incredibly powerful. Their every move could trigger the forces of heaven and earth, borrowing the power of heaven and earth. This power had far surpassed that of a sage king, and even a supreme sage. Queen Medusa pointed her finger downwards. Taoist patterns filled the void, and spiritual energy gathered to form a giant purple finger that was thousands of meters tall. With a single tap of his finger, even the towering mountains were about to collapse, and the bodies of saints were about to explode into a bloody mist. This is too scary. The surrounding sky prides quickly dispersed, keeping a distance from Jun Xiaoyao. Even outlawed sky prides such as Emojinyu, Xinghongyi, and Lord Brahma felt a fatal threat. They could not withstand this finger. "All of you back off," Jun Xiaoyao said. Fairy Maiden Yuan, Yen Ruming, and Tang Jade Hair retreated. Jun Xiaoyao never did anything he was not confident in, so they were not worried at all. The ground around Jun Xiaoyao began to crack and collapse before the giant finger of purple light was even able to reach him. Jun Xiaoyao's white robe fluttered, and his sleeves danced in the wind. However, his expression was incredibly calm. He activated the power of the sacred body of the ancients and the immortal Daluo immortal body. The combination of the two gave Jun Xiaoyao an almost indestructible physical body. He performed the Kuan Peng's grand divine power again, and threw a punch. Runes filled the sky, and the shadow of a Kuan Peng appeared, bringing with it a supreme force that could shatter the heavens. He threw a punch at the giant purple finger. In the sky, Queen Medusa's cold and beautiful face was expressionless. She was not stupid. She did not try her best to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Queen Medusa thought that it would be enough to severely injure Jun Xiaoyao and teach him a lesson. Although it's just a casual finger, it's not something a mere sage can withstand. Queen Medusa's voice was cold. Boom! Jun Xiaoyao's fist light collided with the giant purple finger. Endless runes shot out, turning into waves that swept out. The surrounding ground crumbled. From this, one could see how powerful Queen Medusa's finger was. Is he dead? Xinghongyi glanced over. He naturally hoped that Jun Xiaoyao would fall in the hands of Queen Medusa. In this way, their Gulan holy church would lose a great land. This is the so-called mantis trying to stop a chariot, overestimating its capabilities. Emojinyu sneered. It seemed like there was no need for him to do anything. Smoke and dust filled the air as all of the chosen from the ancient road, as well as the snake men, looked over. Heh! This brat who dares to blaspheme the queen should be dead, right? General Thundersnake sneered. However, in the next moment, the sneer on his face froze and his snake eyes widened. Everyone present was stunned. They were flabbergasted and unable to believe what they were seeing. When the dust settled, a white-robed figure was still standing there calmly. There wasn't a single wrinkle on his white robe. Is this all the holy sovereigns have? Jun Xiaoyao raised his head and looked at Queen Medusa in the sky. Queen Medusa was also slightly stunned. A hint of surprise appeared on her beautiful snow-white face. She had only casually pointed her finger. Although she had held back, it was enough to easily kill a holy sovereign. Even an outlawed sky pride like Jun Xiaoyao should have been severely injured. However, Jun Xiaoyao looked as if nothing had happened. His clothes were not even a little messy. This was beyond everyone's expectations. Again, Queen Medusa raised her eyebrows. This time, she was a little more serious. She had only used 10% of her strength in the previous attack. Now, Queen Medusa stretched out her jade-like hand and slapped down with 30% of her strength. 30% of a holy sovereign's strength was enough to easily injure a supreme sage and kill a holy sovereign. As for holy sovereigns, they were even more insignificant and could be easily destroyed. Now this is interesting. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. He activated his sacred body of the ancients and immortal Daluo immortal body to the extreme. At the same time, The strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant was supported by the power of 100,000 divine elephants. He had also refined the Kuan Peng's great divine power and the Thunder Emperor's great divine power at the same time. In an instant, the space around Jun Xiaoyao was distorted. Divine light flashed, and billions of golden divine lights illuminated the world. The Kuan Peng and the Thunder Emperor's silhouettes attacked together with him. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao was like a supreme godly king. At least in terms of aura, he was not inferior to Queen Medusa at all. Boom! Queen Medusa's Maxim palm collided with Jun Xiaoyao's attack. This time, the ripples were more intense than before. A Maxim storm swept out and tore the surrounding space apart. It was as if two comets had collided. Rocks flew everywhere, and heaven and earth trembled. Boom! After the attack, Jun Xiaoyao took a few steps back. His body was buzzing and trembling. That was the terrifying power of a holy sovereign. It was going to tear his body apart. However, Jun Xiaoyao's body was emitting golden light. Immortal divine light flowed around him. This was a terrifying body that had the potential to become an emperor. Even 30% of a holy sovereign's power would be difficult to destroy. How can this be? Queen Medusa was really shocked this time. Her red lips were slightly open. She was very surprised. Even a supreme saint like General Thundersnake couldn't withstand 30% of her power. How could a mere saint realm cultivator withstand it? What she couldn't accept the most was that Jun Xiaoyao didn't have any obvious injuries on his body. He was still calm and collected. This kid, General Thundersnake, General Green Snake, and the others were also shocked. Impossible. The sacred body of the ancients is imprisoned by heaven and earth. It has 10 shackles. Even if he broke a few shackles, it's impossible for him to block the holy sovereign's attack. Mo Jinyu also took a deep breath. She was in disbelief. The sacred spirit clan was a spirit formed from divine stones and immortal metals. They were born with an indestructible body. However, even if it was Mo Jinyu, with his current realm and the strength of his body, it was absolutely impossible for him to block Queen Medusa's attack. His body would directly shatter. There's only one last move left. Don't show mercy. Otherwise, as a queen, you'll really have to warm the bed for the Son of God. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. There was a smile on his handsome face. This smile was quite glaring in Queen Medusa's eyes. If that's the case, then I'll fulfill your wish, Queen Medusa said coldly. Her purple snake tail swayed slightly. Her entire body tore through the void and instantly descended in front of Jun Xiaoyao. She wanted to personally take action and suppress this arrogant and loathsome brat. Seeing Queen Medusa personally make a move, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. However, he was very vigilant. After all, she was a holy sovereign. The gap between their realms was too big. Jun Xiaoyao had to go all out. His body trembled slightly, and dragon chi surged out, condensing into a silver rainbow holy dragon armor that was suffused with rainbow colors. At the same time, the reverence of the 10,000 saints and immortal king descends to the 9 heavens were activated. Then, 6 streaks of divine energy appeared on the surface of Jun Xiaoyao's body and strengthened his strength. The power of the Bone of Supremacy was also activated by Jun Xiaoyao. It could be said that this time, Jun Xiaoyao really didn't hold back. He went all out. Boom, boom, boom. The two of them instantly exchanged blows. Every attack of Queen Medusa's contained the power of a holy sovereign. Even Jun Xiaoyao's physical body buzzed and trembled. Queen Medusa was surprised. Every time she attacked Jun Xiaoyao, she felt as if she was attacking an indestructible immortal metal. This kid's physical body. Queen Medusa was also in disbelief. She had never seen a monster like Jun Xiaoyao. She struck out with her palm again, trying to severely injure Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao took out the Myriad Qi Cauldron. It was a powerful weapon. The Myriad Qi Cauldron was rolling. The entire cauldron was like a huge star as it smashed toward Queen Medusa. Queen Medusa's jade-like palm hit the myriad chi cauldron, making a clang. She only felt a terrifying and boundless power crushing toward her, causing her to take a few steps back. At this time, Jun Xiaoyao used the speed of the Kuan Peng and instantly rushed behind Queen Medusa. He immediately made a move. He grabbed Queen Medusa's slender neck with one hand and her slim waist with the other. The sacred body of the ancients and the power of 100,000 divine elephants all exploded at this moment. Queen Medusa only felt as if her body was being ravaged and crushed by a giant steel beast. That divine power could simply shatter an ancient mountain. Just as Queen Medusa was about to completely unleash the power of a holy sovereign to shake off Jun Xiaoyao, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly moved his mouth close to Queen Medusa's ear and said with a sneer, "Don't you want to know where your daughter Bai Ling is?" As soon as he finished speaking, Queen Medusa's delicate body instantly stiffened. She even forgot to break free from Jun Xiaoyao. Her full and alluring body was tightly pressed against Jun Xiaoyao, and she was tightly restrained by him. Chapter 633. You know where Bai Ling is? Did you kidnap her? Queen Medusa gritted her teeth. Her beautiful eyes were filled with extreme coldness. If Jun Xiaoyao was really the one who took her away, she would make sure Jun Xiaoyao knew what it meant to be worse than death, even if it meant risking universal condemnation. I, the Son of God, would never resort to such means. Don't worry, she's fine, Jun Xiaoyao said. His breath landed on Queen Medusa's sparkling earlobe, giving her a tingling sensation. Queen Medusa looked at him strangely. As the queen of the Naga tribe, she was worshipped by everyone. No one of the opposite sex could get so close to her. At this moment, Queen Medusa realized that her voluptuous Linglong's body was tightly held by Jun Xiaoyao. Queen Medusa's cold and elegant face revealed a trace of shame and anger. Jun Xiaoyao didn't deliberately want to take advantage of Queen Medusa. He didn't need to. In battle, Jun Xiaoyao never differentiated between men and women. Even if it was a woman's chest, he would mercilessly punch it. However, one had to admit that only Queen Medusa could have such a delicate and voluptuous body. At this moment, everyone present, whether it was the prodigies of the ancient road or the Naga tribe, was stunned. Although they were in the middle of a battle, why did this scene feel a little strange? It made one's imagination run wild. Are all men like this? Yen Rumming pursed her lips. She subconsciously looked down at her own figure. It wasn't bad either. Although she was not as mature as Queen Medusa, she was not as mature. Fairy Maiden Yuan also bit her lips slightly. She didn't say anything, but she felt a little uncomfortable. On the Naga tribe's side, the Lightning Snake General and the others were even more shocked. The supreme queen of the snake people race, who could not be profaned, was actually being defiled by a human man. Queen Medusa also came back to her senses when she noticed the commotion around her. She was just a little absent-minded when she heard about Bai Ling. Can you release him now? Queen Medusa asked coldly. Of course. We can talk about anything. This Son of God doesn't want to completely destroy the Naga race. That's too cruel and goes against the harmony of the heavens. Jun Xiaoyao let go of Queen Medusa. He knew that Bai Ling was the best bargaining chip. However, if someone who knew Jun Xiaoyao well heard this, they would definitely ridicule him. Jun Xiaoyao had annihilated many major forces and races, after all. After the two of them separated, the atmosphere calmed down for the time being. Queen Medusa's face was still flushed red from her embarrassment and anger, adding a touch of femininity to her cold and elegant face. However, the way she looked at Jun Xiaoyao was still cold. Brat, how dare you blaspheme Her Majesty the Queen? Die. General Thundersnake was about to attack. Stop! Queen Medusa coldly berated. The Thunder Snake General's body stiffened. He was a little stunned and his face was filled with resentment. Queen Medusa was actually berating her general for a foreign brat who had just profaned her. Where's Bai Ling? Queen Medusa asked. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. A green shadow flashed across his chest. It was a small green snake. With a flash, it transformed into a beautiful girl around 13 or 14 years old. It was Bai Ling, mother. Seeing Queen Medusa, Bai Ling revealed a look of extreme joy and rushed over. When Jun Xiaoyao saw this, he didn't stop her. He knew that with Bai Ling around, Queen Medusa wouldn't attack him. Bai Ling also wouldn't allow Queen Medusa to harm him. This sudden turn of events caused many people to be stunned. They did not expect the situation to take such a turn. However, when they thought about how Jun Xiaoyao had really blocked 3 of Queen Medusa's attacks, everyone was amazed. Mo Jinyu, Xing Hongyi, and the others were even more incredulous. Bai Ling, are you alright? Queen Medusa rubbed Bai Ling's head. Her originally cold and domineering pretty red phoenix eyes had a warm feeling surging up at this moment. Bai Ling is fine. It's all thanks to you that I was able to see my mother safely. Bai Ling smiled happily. After that, she briefly told Queen Medusa about what had happened. When she heard that Jun Xiaoyao didn't hurt Bai Ling after winning the bid, she heard that he even took care of her. When Queen Medusa looked at Jun Xiaoyao, the coldness in her eyes lessened. Although you're very annoying, I still have to thank you for saving Bai Ling, Queen Medusa said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao said, Queen Medusa, what I want isn't just a word of thanks. Did I win the battle of 3 moves just now? Hearing this, Queen Medusa's face revealed a hint of hesitation. Do you really want me to be your bed-warming maid? Jun Xiaoyao was also slightly stunned. Shouldn't the main point be that he wanted to enter the Temple of Doom? That's secondary. Also, we might be able to discuss some things that might be helpful to the Snake People tribe, Jun Xiaoyao said. Queen Medusa thought for a moment and handed Bai Ling over to General Green Snake. Then, she waved her hand. The magical power runes around them intertwined, forming an isolated space. Only Queen Medusa and Jun Xiaoyao were inside. What's going on? Is the son of God of the Jun family going to persuade Queen Medusa? What persuasion? He should be sleeping with her, right? TSK, if it were me, I wouldn't dare to be alone with that femme fatale. All the geniuses outside were amazed. Her Majesty wants us to temporarily stop the Thousand Snake Realm covering formation and discuss it later, General Green Snake said. How can this be? That brat can actually make Her Majesty change her mind. General Lightning Snake was extremely dissatisfied. There was also a hint of jealousy. Because in the Snake People tribe, apart from Queen Medusa, his cultivation was the highest. In the future, if Queen Medusa wanted to reproduce, the best candidate would be him. As for Bai Ling, although she was Queen Medusa's daughter, she wasn't actually her mother. Although General Lightning Snake didn't dare to blaspheme Queen Medusa, he vaguely had such thoughts in his heart. Now that he saw Queen Medusa and another human man like this, he was naturally unhappy. At this moment, in the isolated space, Queen Medusa's gaze was cold as she looked at Jun Xiaoyao and said, If you have something to say, say it. My patience is limited. Jun Xiaoyao clasped his hands behind his back and said, You want the opportunity in the Temple of Doom because you want the entire Snake People tribe to escape from their current miserable situation. But have you ever thought about what if the Temple of Doom doesn't have the opportunity to transform your Snake People tribe? When the executors of the Ancient Road arrive, your Snake People tribe will be finished. Jun Xiaoyao's words caused Queen Medusa's expression to turn serious. Indeed, the executors of the Ancient Road had cultivation bases above the supremacy level. It wouldn't be too difficult to wipe out the Snake People tribe. Queen Medusa could be considered to have staked everything on this one throw, betting everything on the Temple of Doom. If she lost, the Snake People tribe would naturally be wiped out. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and said, If this Son of God gave you a chance to let the Snake People tribe live a 100% stable life, and also obtain abundant resources, would you be willing? What? You can do it? Queen Medusa was shocked. Wasn't this what she dreamed of? to let the Snake People tribe develop steadily, and not be bullied and hunted every day like they were now? It's very simple. Submit to me. Jun Xiaoyao flicked his sleeve and looked down at Queen Medusa condescendingly. Chapter 634. In fact, Jun Xiaoyao had no plans to subdue the Naga tribe from the beginning. To him, the Naga tribe was nothing more than an insignificant tribe. Their survival had nothing to do with him. Even if the Naga tribe was exterminated, Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't feel anything. He wouldn't even bat an eyelid. However, after learning about Bai Ling's bloodline, Jun Xiaoyao had a vague feeling. The Naga tribe must have some secrets, and those secrets were in the Temple of Doom. If the Naga tribe really had other origins, then the Naga tribe was worth nurturing. Joining the monarch's court was a good choice. You want to enslave the Naga tribe? Queen Medusa raised her eyebrows. If anyone else dared to say such words in front of her, Queen Medusa would have already slapped them. It's submission, not enslavement, Jun Xiaoyao corrected. It's still your orders, Queen Medusa said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head slightly. Queen Medusa, you're not that naive, are you? You should know that there's no such thing as absolute freedom in this world. The entire world is like a pyramid. Each level oppresses the next, and I, the Son of God, stand at the top of the pyramid. Jun Xiaoyao's hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes shone with a bright light of confidence. He was born to be noble and lofty. That aura of a dragon and phoenix among men that had been in a high position for a long time even caused Queen Medusa to feel a little uncomfortable. She felt that in front of Jun Xiaoyao, even a holy lord like her was inferior. Do you believe that the executors of the ancient road, who can easily destroy your Naga tribe, have to bow their heads in front of me, the Son of God? I, the Son of God, am the ruler of the monarch's court. With a casual word, I can destroy your Naga tribe 10,000 times over. Therefore, this is the Son of God's pity for your Naga tribe. Jun Xiaoyao's words caused Queen Medusa's face to turn pale. She was the high and mighty queen of the Naga tribe. However, in front of Jun Xiaoyao, she was just a plaything that was slightly more beautiful and had a slightly better figure. Queen Medusa took a deep breath, her chest heaving up and down. She stared at Jun Xiaoyao with her long, narrow, phoenix-like eyes. Are you sure that we won't be wiped out by the executors of the ancient road? Of course, if this Son of God can't stop it, then no one can, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Queen Medusa was a little conflicted. It was her first time meeting someone like Jun Xiaoyao. Domineering and awe-inspiring, his power overflowed to the heavens. However, he was meticulous, good at scheming, and had extraordinary talent. Even if such a person wasn't a hero in the future, he would still be a formidable person. Add to that Jun Xiaoyao's unshakable background, and Queen Medusa was convinced that the Naga tribe could follow Jun Xiaoyao to the light of day. She sighed and said, "If you want us to surrender, we can. However, the secrets of the Temple of Doom are also very important to us." "Don't worry about that," Jun Xiaoyao said. "We can investigate together." "Very well," Queen Medusa said with a sigh. "We agree." So what if they didn't agree? If the secrets in the Temple of Doom weren't enough to transform the entire Naga tribe, then the slaughter here would definitely incur the wrath of the executors of the ancient road. When that happened, the Naga tribe would be wiped out. Queen Medusa had been forced into a dead end when she wanted to gamble. But now, Jun Xiaoyao had given her a better option. She wasn't stupid. A wise man submits to circumstances. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. "Very well," Queen Medusa said. "Then we can explore the Temple of Doom together." "What should you call me?" Jun Xiaoyao asked coolly. If she was willing to acknowledge allegiance to him, then she had to understand the importance of seniority. Queen Medusa bit her lip and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. After a long time, she finally spoke in a somewhat unfamiliar and dry tone. Young master, good," Jun Xiaoyao said. "By the way, I'm very curious about Bai Ling's bloodline." Back then, Bai Ling said that Queen Medusa was the only one who gave birth to her. Jun Xiaoyao felt that something was off. Based on what he had seen, Queen Medusa didn't have a partner. Queen Medusa replied, "A long time ago, there was a riot at the Temple of Doom, during which a drop of ancient blood was spat out. I used the Naga tribe's blood origin life creation magic to refine that drop of ancient blood and give birth to an embryo. That's how Bai Ling came to be." "What?" Jun Xiaoyao said. "Bai Ling was born from a drop of ancient blood in the Temple of Doom?" This was completely out of his expectations. And the Naga tribe's blood origin life creation magic could give birth to life from a drop of ancient blood. This reminded Jun Xiaoyao of a legend in Huaxia. That god seemed to have a human head and a snake's body, right? The blood origin life creation magic is very demanding, and the success rate is too low. Maybe it was because of that drop of ancient blood that it succeeded in the end, Queen Medusa explained. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. It seemed that the answer to the mystery should be in the Temple of Doom. "Well, since it's settled, let's go," Jun Xiaoyao said. Queen Medusa waved her hand and dispersed the isolated space. They appeared in front of everyone again. "Hey, it's settled?" Everyone's gazes shifted over. Their expressions froze at the same time. Because Queen Medusa was standing behind Jun Xiaoyao. She looked like a maid. Damn, he really turned Queen Medusa into a bed-warming maid? Amazing, the son of God of the Jun family is really amazing. A dignified Holy Lord-level powerhouse, Queen Medusa, who was famous for her beauty and ferocity, had actually been subdued. "Your Majesty, you." Green Snake General and the others were also in disbelief. Queen Medusa waved her hand and said, "Remove the array. We'll talk about the details later." Seeing this scene, the geniuses and cultivators of the ancient road all showed the joy of surviving a disaster. They were finally going to survive. "Thank you, Son of God, for saving our lives." Everyone bowed to Jun Xiaoyao with sincerity. "You don't have to be so polite." Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly. Although these people were like ants in his eyes, he just saved them in passing. But why not use the reputation he got for free? It was just enough to make up for his image. Next, the Naga tribe will explore the Temple of Doom. Except for young Master Jun and the others, everyone else can get lost, Queen Medusa said coldly. Hearing this, the geniuses didn't show any disappointment. It was already good enough that they came back alive. Amitabha, it seems this little monk is not fated to enter this temple. Brahma Heaven chanted a Buddhist mantra, feeling a little helpless. Mo Jinyu and Sheng Hongyi's expressions didn't look too good. Hu Qingqing was even more anxious. Beside Mo Jinyu, she said, "Young Master Mo, this Fairy Yuan could enter the Temple of Doom with Jun Xiaoyao, but she couldn't. What was going on?" "Queen Medusa, I'm Mo Jinyu of the Holy Spirit Island. I also want to enter the Temple of Doom," Mo Jinyu said. However, before Queen Medusa could say anything, Jun Xiaoyao opened his mouth and spoke. "If you didn't speak, I would have forgotten about you. If you want to enter the Temple of Doom, sure, but you'll have to get through me first," Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. Mo Jinyu's expression instantly turned ugly. Chapter 635. If Jun Xiaoyao dared to provoke her like this before, Mo Jinyu would have attacked him. However, Jun Xiaoyao had blocked 3 of Queen Medusa's attacks. Everyone knew that Jun Xiaoyao was probably the one who killed the half-step Great Saint-level Fiery Snake General. A sage killing a half-step Great Sage. No one would believe it if they heard about it. However, Jun Xiaoyao did it. It was obvious how terrifying Jun Xiaoyao's true strength was. Even Mo Jinyu, who was known to be invincible among her peers and a natural divine spirit, was afraid of him. TSK, the natural divine spirit Mo Jinyu is scared? How can she not be scared? If it were her, would she be able to withstand 3 of the sacred leader's attacks? Not to mention the sacred leader, she might not even be able to withstand 3 of the half-step great sage's attacks. the son of God of the Jun family killed a half-step great sage. He's so powerful. Perhaps it was because Jun Xiaoyao had saved everyone, but the crowd was more biased toward Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, don't you go too far. Mo Jinyu's hair fluttered in the wind, and her face was filled with anger. So what if I, the son of God, am bullying you? Not only you, Xing Hongyi, Fan Tian, the three of you can come at me together. I, the son of God, will take all of you. Jun Xiaoyao flung his sleeves in a domineering manner. He was going to fight 3 outlawed sky prides alone. Outlawed sky prides were not cabbages that could be found everywhere. Each of them had a monstrous talent. 3 outlawed sky prides together were enough to dominate an entire ancient path. Xing Hongyi's expression was grim. To be honest, he was a little scared. Even Xing Hongyi himself could not believe it. He was the holy son of the Gulan sect's Hong sect. It was always others who were afraid of him, not him. This was the first time he felt this way. It could only be said that Jun Xiaoyao was too oppressive. Amitabha, I have no fate with the Temple of Doom, so I won't interfere. Benefactor Jun, farewell. Brahma chanted a Buddhist proclamation and spurred the jade white lion, and actually fled like a wisp of smoke. This caused the group of people to be extremely astonished. Don't be fooled by Brahma's kind and amiable appearance. When he was truly enraged, he was just like the Wisdom King, causing others to tremble in fear. Yet now they were retreating without a fight. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at them and thought, it seems that not all Buddhist prodigies are as stupid as Fa Hai and Jade Fozi. You guys want to run too? Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a mocking smile. Mo Jinyu's expression turned even colder. Jun Xiaoyao's words were obviously forcing him to fight. If Mo Jinyu ran away now, his image would be ruined. Even the Holy Spirit clan, who was invincible among their peers, would be tainted. This was something Mo Jinyu absolutely could not accept. Xing Hongyi would not be able to escape either. If the other saints of the Gulan sect saw him, they would not even have the courage to fight. Perhaps his position as the son of saint would be impeached and replaced by someone else. Jun Xiaoyao, don't be so arrogant. The Holy Spirit clan is blessed by the heavens and invincible among our peers. Why would we be afraid of you? After Mo Jinyu finished speaking, he let out a clear whistle and directly attacked. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were also filled with a hint of interest. He was very curious about whether his sacred body of the ancients or the Holy Spirit clan's indestructible treasured body was stronger. Whoosh! The two figures collided fiercely like comets hitting the earth. Boom! It was just a punch, but Mo Jinyu was knocked back several miles. A muffled groan came from his chest, and his arms trembled violently. What? He's at a disadvantage after one move? Seeing Mo Jinyu being knocked back several miles with one move, everyone rubbed their eyes, thinking that their eyes were playing tricks on them. That was the invincible Holy Spirit clan, who was blessed by the heavens and nurtured by the heavens and earth, but he was at a disadvantage after one move. Hu Qingqing's charming face was also stunned. She knew that it would be very difficult for Mo Jinyu to defeat Jun Xiaoyao. But he should be able to resist. But now, it seemed that she had overestimated Mo Jinyu and underestimated Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, you. Mo Jinyu's hair was disheveled, and his face was covered in dust. His expression was filled with shock and anger, but there was also a hint of fear. In just the initial exchange of blows, he felt that Jun Xiaoyao not only had an unparalleled physique, but his divine power was even more powerful. Mo Jinyu could not imagine how Jun Xiaoyao, a human, could cultivate his physical body to be stronger than the Holy Spirit clan, who had turned divine stones and immortal gold into spirit. And it was not just a little bit stronger. Demonic light of petrification. Mo Jinyu also used the Holy Spirit clan's innate magic. The gray light beam shot out, and everywhere it passed, the ground froze like rock. All kinds of plants were also turned into stone sculptures. The gray light shone on Jun Xiaoyao's body at lightning speed. His body froze inch by inch, turning into a stone sculpture. It's the Holy Spirit clan's demonic petrification light. It's said that when it's fully mastered, the gray light can petrify all the creatures on the ancient planet. Many geniuses showed fear in their eyes. However, before Mo Jinyu could breathe a sigh of relief, the stone sculpture made a cracking sound, and cracks spread out, and then it directly collapsed. Jun Xiaoyao's figure was revealed, and he was not affected at all. The sacred body of the ancients could be immune to many strange energies. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao also had the ability to be immune to magical power. The demonic petrification light was also ineffective against him. Jun Xiaoyao punched out. It was the fist of the 6 paths of reincarnation, which was supported by the Kuan Peng's grand magic, the Thunder Emperor's grand magic, and other moves. The fist light surged, and the ground in front of it was torn apart. Mo Jinyu was also unwilling to wait for death, and he pushed his strength to the limit. Around him, 9 vortexes appeared, swallowing the essence of heaven and earth. This was the talent of the 9-holed rock spirit that was exclusive to him. Divine Fist of the Heavens. Mo Jinyu absorbed the essence of heaven and earth and turned it into a world-shaking punch, colliding with Jun Xiaoyao's fist of the 6 paths of reincarnation. However, accompanied by a cracking sound. Mo Jinyu's fist was smashed open, and the blood of the Holy Spirit splattered out. Impossible, I'm an invincible Holy Spirit, and my physical body is unparalleled. Mo Jinyu couldn't believe it and roared. At this time, Jun Xiaoyao's fist mark was already imprinted on Mo Jinyu's body. Holy Spirit stone armor. Mo Jinyu let out a long roar, and pieces of gray stone armor appeared on the surface of his body. This was the stone skin that he shed when he transformed into a human, and he refined it into armor. Jun Xiaoyao's fist landed on the surface, causing a sound that sounded like a great bell to be heard. A wave of vibration power surged out, and once again, Mo Jinyu was sent flying. This innate Holy Spirit was in a sorry state in the hands of Jun Xiaoyao, and he didn't have the strength to fight back at all. At this moment, a rumbling sound rang out. Xing Hongyi attacked at this time. He struck out with his metal-like right arm, and dazzling divine light shot out, and his fist intent soared into the sky. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care, and he countered with the Kuan Peng infinite divine fist. Clang, like the sound of a heavenly bell. Xing Hongyi was also shocked, and he coughed up blood as he retreated. It's over. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were indifferent. He still had to explore the Temple of Doom, and he didn't have time to waste on these two. Jun Xiaoyao stood in the sky, and he raised his hands. His left hand formed the path of life, and his right hand rose with the aura of death. 2 wheels of life and death appeared from his hands, and they rotated in the heavens, creating life and death. Wheels of life and death. Jun Xiaoyao reached out with both hands, and attacked Mo Jinyu and Xing Hongyi at the same time. Behind him, the phantom of the immortal king descending from the 9 heavens appeared, augmenting the power of his Tao arts and divine arts. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao was like the immortal king who controlled the life and death of all living beings. Even outlawed sky prides were as insignificant as ants in front of him. The life and death of all living beings was under his control. Chapter 636. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's aura was too powerful. The silhouette of an immortal king appeared behind him. He pushed the wheel of life and death, crushing everything as if he could control the life and death of all living beings. Xing Hongyi and Mo Jinyu did not even have the strength to fight back in the face of such an attack. They tried their best to use their martial arts and superpowers. They cultivated all kinds of terrifying superpowers that could kill a sage in an instant. However, all of this was nothing in front of Jun Xiaoyao's wheel of life and death. Whoosh! Their bodies were severely injured and began to collapse as if they were about to collapse. Jun Xiaoyao summoned the myriad qi cauldron and suppressed Mo Jinyu. He wanted to refine her into a resource for the myriad chi cauldron. Ah! Emojinyu screamed. She never thought that she, an innate saint spirit, would be used as a material one day. The myriad chi cauldron carried a mighty force that could suppress the heavens. Emojinyu's severely injured body could not resist at all and was immediately suppressed. The surging myriad chi instantly drowned Emojinyu. Every wisp of myriad chi could crush a mountain range of thousands of miles. Although Emojinyu's body was a 9-orifice divine stone, she could not withstand this power. Her body exploded in the myriad chi cauldron and turned into a resource to nourish the cauldron. Everyone present was dumbfounded. The outlawed sky prides of the sacred spirit tribe were defeated in such a way. It was unexpected. Jun Xiaoyao turned to look at Xing Hongyi and said indifferently, "You're not even as good as the 9-orifice divine stone. You're worthless as a material." Jun Xiaoyao only had coldness toward the Gulan sect. During the Immortal War, the Gulan sect had crossed the immortal domain to intervene. Jun Xiaoyao was a vengeful person. He would kill anyone from the Gulan sect on sight. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand. The power of law intertwined and formed a giant palm. Even the lines on the palm could be seen clearly. It was as if the hand of a divine king was pressing down. Xing Hongyi screamed at the top of his lungs when he sensed that death was near. Jun Xiaoyao, don't be so arrogant. The 8 gates of the Gulan Church are not something that your Jun family can easily provoke. The saints of the other sects will also avenge me. As his voice fell, the palm of law came crashing down, smashing Xing Hongyi into a bloody pulp. If the holy sons of the other sects dare to provoke us, they will only be courting death. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was indifferent. In the ancient Orchid religion, the higher the rank of the holy son, the stronger he was. For example, the holy prince of the ancient Orchid cult's heavenly gate, Xing Tianyi, was extremely famous on the ancient road. He was even more famous than Xing Hongyi. But to Jun Xiaoyao, it didn't matter. They could only be killed by him. Everyone gulped as they watched Jun Xiaoyao slaughter 2 outlawed sky prides in the blink of an eye. The Jun family's Son of God's strength has far surpassed the average outlawed sky prides. I'm afraid only the outlawed sky prides of the outlawed sky prides can stand a chance against him. Someone said with lingering fear. Maybe the Jun family's Son of God can really break through the entire ancient road. TSK, I really want to witness that scene with my own eyes. After all, Jun Xiaoyao had saved their lives. Therefore, these people were extremely respectful towards Jun Xiaoyao. Among the crowd, Hu Qingqing was completely stunned. Emojinyu, the ally that she had painstakingly recruited, died in Jun Xiaoyao's hands so easily. She was in a daze, as if her soul had left her body. Sensing Jun Xiaoyao's gaze on her, Hu Qingqing immediately knelt on the ground and cried as she begged for mercy, "Master Son of God, please forgive me. I'm willing to follow the Son of God and do anything for you." Who would have thought that the noble lady of the 9-tailed fox clan, one of the courtesans of the goddess Lane, Hu Qingqing, would kneel on the ground and beg for mercy, begging to stay by Jun Xiaoyao's side and do anything for him? However, before Jun Xiaoyao could say anything, Fairy Yuan twisted her slender waist and attacked. "You want to stay by my master's side? Do you think you're worthy?" Fairy Yuan attacked forcefully and attacked Hu Qingqing. "Fairy Yuan, Master Son of God hasn't said anything yet. Who gave you the right to attack?" Hu Qingqing shrieked. Boom! The 2 beauties began to fight. Jun Xiaoyao remained expressionless, but he was slightly surprised. Fairy Maiden Yuan's attack was decisive. What surprised him even more was that Fairy Yuan's strength was stronger than he had imagined. When the Luotian fleeting dance was performed, it made the heavenly maiden Yuan look absolutely stunning. But in this beauty there was an extreme murderous intent. In just a few dozen rounds, Hu Qingqing died in the hands of Fairy Yuan amidst a scream. Jun Xiaoyao looked at this scene with a deep gaze. Fairy Yuan looked back at Jun Xiaoyao and smiled charmingly. She winked at him playfully and said, "Young master, you won't blame me for killing Hu Qingqing, right? Get ready to enter the Temple of Doom." Jun Xiaoyao did not say much. In fact, he already knew some things in his heart. Everything was still under his control. At this point, the curtains were drawn for the time being. Next, all that was left was to explore the Temple of Doom. Queen Medusa glanced at Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's cunning, scheming, ruthless methods, and unnatural talent were all things that mattered to him. All of this made Queen Medusa believe that she had not followed the wrong person. She even felt that it might not be long before Jun Xiaoyao's strength would far surpass hers. "Let's go in," Jun Xiaoyao said. Queen Medusa nodded slightly. Then Jun Xiaoyao, Fairy Yuan, Yen Ruming, and Tang Jade Hair followed. Queen Medusa, Thunder Snake General, Green Snake General, Nether Snake General, and others entered the Temple of Doom together. Originally, Queen Medusa was unwilling to let Bai Ling enter the Temple of Doom and take the risk. However, considering that Bai Ling was born from a drop of ancient blood in the Temple of Doom, Jun Xiaoyao still suggested that Bai Ling go in with them. Not long after they entered the Temple of Doom. In the void, 4 faint shadows swept into the temple. This subtle scene was not noticed by the Serpent Men warriors. The Temple of Doom was not just a temple, but a continuous stretch of ancient ruins. When Jun Xiaoyao and the others entered, they found that the place was filled with a gray fog. "Everyone, use your mana to isolate it," Jun Xiaoyao said. He seemed to have become the leader of the group. "Humph, why should we listen to the orders of this human brat?" Thunder Snake General muttered. "All right, do as young Master Jun says." Queen Medusa waved her hand. Everyone used their magic power to isolate themselves from the gray fog. Jun Xiaoyao was no stranger to this fog. This was because there was this kind of gray fog in the supreme treasure of Yuantian. This was related to the dark matter of the foreign realm. Could this place also be related to the dark matter of the foreign realm? Jun Xiaoyao thought in his heart. The deeper they went into the ruins of the Temple of Doom, the more Queen Medusa and the others felt a kind of domain suppression. "I can't use the strength of a divine lord." Queen Medusa frowned. This place was very strange, and it made her feel uneasy. Not only her, but Thunder Snake General and the others also couldn't use the strength of a supreme saint. Everyone's strength seemed to be suppressed to the saint realm. At this moment, there was a hissing sound in front of them. An ancient serpent with blood-red eyes tore at them. Jun Xiaoyao used his fingers as a sword and cut off its head. He went forward to investigate, and he came to a realization. As expected, it's the same as the supreme treasure of Yuantian. If any creature is contaminated by this gray fog, their eyes will turn scarlet and they will fall into madness. What is the foreign realm's dark matter, and where does it come from? Why would this gray fog appear in the Temple of Doom? Could it be that there is something in it that has been contaminated by the dark matter? Jun Xiaoyao thought about a lot of things, and there were also many mysteries. Chapter 637. Even in the Jun family's library, there were not many records about the dark matter. It was only said that the dark matter came from a drop of blood in a mysterious place. Other than that, there were no more records. Jun Xiaoyao knew that it was meaningless to explore such things now. What he needed to do now was to search for the opportunity in the Temple of Doom. At this moment, in the distance, in the gray fog, specks of scarlet ghost fire suddenly appeared. They were actually eyes. "Oh no, it's a wave of demons." General Green Snake's expression changed. When the number of demons contaminated by the dark matter reached a certain level, they would form a wave of demons. If Queen Medusa and the others still maintained their peak combat strength, then it would be fine. But the problem was that Queen Medusa and the others were now suppressed by the domain and could only exert the strength of a saint. This was a bit difficult. Hiss, hiss, all kinds of strange roars were heard. The demons gathered into a wave and swept over. "Let's attack together and open a path." As Jun Xiaoyao's voice fell, his whole body bloomed with light. The sacred body of the ancients was a physique of extreme yang and was innately resistant to all kinds of evil forces. Even if Jun Xiaoyao did not use his magic power to isolate himself, the gray fog would not be able to contaminate him in a short time. Jun Xiaoyao used his fingers as a sword and slashed out with the Immortal Slayer sword chant. A mighty sword aura of thousands of feet broke through the gray fog. There was a hissing sound in front of him, and the sound of the sword aura cutting into flesh. If ordinary people encountered such a wave of demons, they would most likely be scared out of their wits. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was normal. Queen Medusa and the others also attacked together. Even if their strength was suppressed, they were still far stronger than ordinary saints. The group of people fought and advanced just like that. At this moment, Bai Ling, who was protected in the center by everyone, suddenly seemed to have some kind of feeling. She pointed in a direction in front of her, and said in a confused and hesitant voice, "It seems like we have to go there." Hearing this, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. Sure enough, bringing Bai Ling into the Temple of Doom was the right decision. She was originally a drop of ancient blood in the Temple of Doom. Jun Xiaoyao speculated that the drop of ancient blood might have something to do with the origin of the Naga's bloodline. After that, everyone started to move in the direction that Bai Ling had pointed out. Not long after, an incomparably huge and ancient temple appeared in front of them. Its size was clearly much larger than the surrounding temples. Could this be where the main temple of the Temple of Doom is located? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. In front of the main temple stood a row of bronze pillars. There were carvings on it depicting an ancient existence with a human head and a snake body. At first glance, Jun Xiaoyao felt that she looked like the goddess of creation of Huaxia. Strangely enough, after Jun Xiaoyao and the others stepped past the bronze pillar, the demonic creatures didn't dare to take even half a step forward, as if they were afraid of something. Up ahead, the ancient temple was magnificent, and it carried a mottled and ancient aura. One could imagine that in its heyday, the Temple of Doom would have been an incomparably magnificent existence. Unfortunately, things had changed with the passage of time, and this place had become a strange demonic land. Jun Xiaoyao and the others pushed open the bronze door of the main temple. A gust of chilly wind blew, causing the Thunder Snake General and the other Supreme Saints to feel a chill run down their spines. This place is too strange. Green Snake General's skin was covered in goosebumps. Jun Xiaoyao snapped his fingers, and a colorful two-she ancient emperor flame floated in the air, slightly illuminating the cold and dark ancient temple. There were some murals on the walls on both sides of the ancient temple. The murals depicted ancient people worshipping a human-headed snake god. Behind it was a peerless beauty who appeared from a river and was worshipped from all directions. As expected, this is the Luo River. Fairy Maiden Yuan stepped forward and touched the murals, her eyes bright and bright. Jun Xiaoyao thought of Fairy Maiden Yuan's graceful dance of the Luo god. Could it be that this Fairy Maiden Yuan is related to the legendary spirit of the Luo River? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. It was related to a legendary mythical emperor. Now Jun Xiaoyao finally understood why Fairy Maiden Yuan was so insistent on coming to the Temple of Doom. Some of the opportunities here were indeed related to her. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao was not doing charity. If a great opportunity really appeared, he would definitely take the lion's share. As the group went deeper into the ancient temple, they also found many dusty ancient artifacts in some of the side halls, as well as some bottles and jars covered in dust. When the jars were opened, there was a shocking divine radiance swirling within, and a fragrance filled the air. It's a sacred pill, and its medicinal properties have not disappeared. The Thunder Snake General and the others were pleasantly surprised. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at it, then looked away, without any interest. He had eaten sacred pills like candy since he was young. Only the Naga race, who did not have a rich heritage, saw sacred pills as treasures. Compared to these things, Jun Xiaoyao was more interested in the murals and carvings. They might have revealed some secrets. about the mythical emperor, or immortal, just as the green snake general and the others were packing up the pills and ancient artifacts. Bai Ling suddenly looked at the front of the hall and said blankly, "There's a familiar aura in front." These words made Jun Xiaoyao and Queen Medusa's eyes flash. They looked at each other and continued forward. A thick blood aura surged toward them. Looking around, in the center of the hall there was a blood pool about 10 feet in diameter. Inside the blood pool there was dark red blood. After so much time, the blood still had not coagulated. Beside the blood pool there were 6 coffins. There was a blood trough under the coffins, and the blood flowed into the blood pool. This is... Queen Medusa was shocked. She could feel that the bloodline in her body seemed to be faintly burning. The Thunder Snake General and the others also felt the same. "Is this some kind of sacrificial scene?" Jun Xiaoyao asked suspiciously. "This is the most primitive and powerful bloodline of the Naga race." Queen Medusa could not help but reveal an excited expression. She was the strongest of the Naga race, so she could naturally understand the power of this bloodline the most. If the entire Naga race had this bloodline, then, not to mention a sacred lord, even a supreme would not be a rare thing. Just as Queen Medusa was about to go forward and collect the bloodline, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly said, "If you don't want the Naga race to be completely wiped out, then take this bloodline." "What do you mean, young master?" Queen Medusa stopped. Jun Xiaoyao stepped forward and said indifferently, "This blood pool contains the power of a curse and a substance of the same origin as the gray fog." Hearing this, Queen Medusa was slightly shocked and looked carefully. As expected, strange runes could be vaguely seen rising from the blood pool. There were also wisps of black gas spreading out. "This is the hope of my Naga race's transformation." Queen Medusa was unwilling. "It's not completely impossible." Jun Xiaoyao changed his tone and said indifferently, "Young master, do you have a way?" Queen Medusa could not help but step forward and grab Jun Xiaoyao's hand with her jade-like hand. She looked rather nervous. This was related to the transformation and rise of the Naga race, so it was no wonder that Queen Medusa would lose her composure. Chapter 638. Queen Medusa's hand was white and tender, as if it had no bones. He had to admit that it felt good. Seeing this scene, a dark look flashed in the eyes of the Thunder Snake General. How could the usually cold and noble queen lose her composure so easily in front of that human brat? She was like a little girl. Although Queen Medusa had already told them that the Naga tribe would submit to Jun Xiaoyao, but the Thunder Snake General still felt indignant. Fairy Maiden Yuan and Yen Rumeng looked over with their beautiful eyes. Queen Medusa also noticed that she had lost her composure and hurriedly let go of her hand with a slightly embarrassed expression. Jun Xiaoyao said with a calm expression, "It's very simple. My sacred body of the ancients has the power to restrain evil. If I use the sacred body of the ancients' blood to baptize, I might be able to purify this pool of blood." These words made Queen Medusa's expression change slightly. She naturally understood how important the sacred body of the ancients' blood was to Jun Xiaoyao. Even if it was just to refine a drop of the sacred body of the ancients' blood, it was tantamount to cutting off his flesh. This was a great sacrifice. "Young Master Jun, Queen Medusa was speechless. She couldn't force Jun Xiaoyao to sacrifice the sacred body of the ancients' blood for the Naga tribe. Haha, since the Naga tribe is willing to submit to the Son of God, then this small sacrifice is still acceptable to me. Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly. Young Master Jun. Even the cold and arrogant Queen Medusa couldn't help but be moved at this moment. Although she had previously agreed to submit to Jun Xiaoyao, she had only agreed because of the situation and Jun Xiaoyao's background. But now, Queen Medusa felt that Jun Xiaoyao really valued the Naga tribe. "Thank you, Master. Medusa and the Naga tribe will definitely repay this kindness." Queen Medusa bowed to Jun Xiaoyao. Previously, she had called Jun Xiaoyao Young Master Jun. But now, she called him Master. The change in how Queen Medusa addressed Jun Xiaoyao was a clear indication of the change in her attitude toward him. "It's fine." Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand. This scene caused great General Lightning Snake's heart to burn with jealousy. The aloof and cold queen addressed Jun Xiaoyao as her master. This contrast was unacceptable to General Thundersnake. It was as if the goddess in his heart had become someone else's female slave. A smile flashed across Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. In fact, even if the Naga tribe was not involved, he still wanted to purify this blood pool. This was because Yen Ruming's transformation also required an ancient bloodline. This blood pool was also beneficial to Yen Ruming's awakening of the Sky Dream bewildering butterfly. The Naga tribe was just a side trip. However, a simple sentence would be able to make Queen Medusa unswervingly loyal to him. Why not? As for the blood essence of the saintly body, Jun Xiaoyao still needed to use his own. This was because the blood essence of a saint physique wasn't a complete saint physique with 10 shackles severed. Therefore, the purifying power was far inferior to Jun Xiaoyao's saint physique blood essence. It couldn't completely purify this blood pool. Jun Xiaoyao's body shook slightly. A drop of saint physique blood essence was refined and dripped into the blood pool. In an instant, the saint body's blood essence, which was glowing with gold, began to thicken in the blood pool. There was a hissing sound. It was the gray fog and curse in the blood pool being eroded by the saint physique blood. The fresh blood in the blood pool gradually turned bright red, and was suffused with a rich fluctuation. Just as Queen Medusa was about to collect the ancient blood in the blood pool, the 6 coffins suddenly trembled, and then there was a boom. 6 terrifying demonic shadows appeared. They were 6 Naga corpses that had turned into demonic corpses. Different from the Naga tribe, these 6 Naga corpses all had 8 arms and looked quite ancient and terrifying. It's the 8-armed serpent demon. It's the ancient mutated bloodline of the Naga tribe. Queen Medusa said in shock. The 8-armed serpent demon was a deformed existence of the Naga tribe, but they were very ancient. It was impossible for the current Naga corpses to appear in the bloodline of the Naga tribe. The 6-headed 8-armed serpent demons acted instinctively and pounced on Jun Xiaoyao and the other living creatures. Jun Xiaoyao formed the Kuan Prung fist seal and punched out. The 8-armed serpent demon, which could kill a saint, was blasted back dozens of feet by Jun Xiaoyao. The rest of the 8-armed serpent demons also fought with the people present. Interesting. It seems that these 8-armed serpent demons have also been contaminated by the demonic energy, Jun Xiaoyao thought. As he thought, he attacked. Another scream came from another place. It was the scream of the Nether Snake General. He was considered the weakest among the 3 generals. Moreover, he was suppressed by the domain of the Temple of Doom, so he couldn't use his combat strength. His body was torn apart by the 8-armed serpent demons. Nether Snake. The Green Snake General's expression changed, and he went to help. In the end, the 6 8-armed serpent demons were killed. The Nether Snake General also fell. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. He didn't care. With this ancient blood, the Naga tribe's bloodline could transform, and a large number of experts would emerge to strengthen the power of the monarch court. The death of one Nether Snake General was not a big deal. Jun Xiaoyao went forward, extracted a portion of the ancient blood, and handed it to Yen Ruming. This. Yen Ruming hesitated. If I'm not wrong, the origin of this ancient blood is very likely related to the myth emperor. It's enough for you to awaken, Jun Xiaoyao said. Thank you. Yen Ruming took the ancient blood, glanced at Jun Xiaoyao, and smiled sweetly. Yen Ruming's face was already perfect, and this smile was even more alluring. Jun Xiaoyao also smiled. He understood that Yen Ruming was considered to be completely loyal to him. If the Skydream butterfly could be awakened and fully matured, it would at least be at the level of a quasi-emperor. The remaining ancient blood was kept by Queen Medusa. This pool of ancient blood was enough to make her and the entire Naga tribe's strength change qualitatively. This was also what Jun Xiaoyao wanted to see. He didn't need a weak Naga tribe, but a Naga tribe with many experts. This shouldn't be all the opportunities. Let's continue, Jun Xiaoyao said. Ever since she obtained the ancient blood, Queen Medusa had followed Jun Xiaoyao's lead. Everyone continued to go deeper. After walking for a long time, in front of them, another bronze door appeared. There was an ancient god engraved on the door and a mighty river. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly stopped and whispered, "There's a curse array." Queen Medusa and the others sensed and found that there were chessboard-like black blood array patterns on the ground in front of the bronze door. The runes in different grids were different. What should we do? Queen Medusa didn't know what to do. There may be a life gate here. We can try that path. Jun Xiaoyao pointed to a rune in the black blood array pattern. Queen Medusa turned to the Thunder Snake General and said, "Go and try." The Thunder Snake General's expression changed slightly. Although he didn't want to try, he still went forward because of Queen Medusa's order. As soon as he stepped on the rune, a strange gray fog rose and wrapped around the Thunder Snake General. His expression changed drastically as he felt his body being corroded. "Sigh, it seems like I was wrong." Jun Xiaoyao sighed. "Kid, you." The Thunder Snake General's eyes bulged as he stared at Jun Xiaoyao. In the last moment of his life, he saw Jun Xiaoyao's lips curl into a smile. That smile was playful and disdainful. "Kid, how dare you trick me?" The Thunder Snake General's words were stuck in his throat and he couldn't say anything. His body collapsed inch by inch and turned into black ashes. Chapter 639. Seeing General Thundersnake turn into ashes, General Green Snake's expression changed. In the blink of an eye, she was the only one left among the 4 generals of the Snake Men. Queen Medusa also sighed and didn't say anything. "General Thundersnake, don't blame me. If you want to blame someone, blame it on your resentment towards Master." Queen Medusa sighed. How could she not see that General Thundersnake was extremely unwilling to submit to Jun Xiaoyao? Now, Jun Xiaoyao was the only savior of the Snake Men, and he also helped to purify the ancient blood. Queen Medusa had completely submitted to Jun Xiaoyao, both physically and mentally. General Thundersnake was an unstable seed. If he acted impulsively and attacked Jun Xiaoyao, the consequences would be unimaginable. Jun Xiaoyao was, in fact, giving Queen Medusa a chance to show her loyalty to him. If she was willing to let General Thundersnake die, it would be enough to show her loyalty to Jun Xiaoyao. It was clear that Queen Medusa had made the right choice. From this, one could see her ruthless and decisive side. This son of God has never liked to leave behind hidden dangers. If you dare to hold a grudge against me, then you can only die. Jun Xiaoyao sneered in his heart. Actually, under the suppression of this domain, he could also directly kill General Thundersnake. But he had just subdued the Snake Men, and it was a bit inappropriate to kill a general of the Snake Men. Therefore, he gave the choice to Queen Medusa and also tested her loyalty at the same time. In the end, Queen Medusa didn't disappoint him. "Bai Ling, go and try," Jun Xiaoyao said again. Young master." Bai Ling's body trembled slightly. She must have been scared when she saw the tragic death of the Thunder Snake General. "Master, this." Queen Medusa's expression changed. "Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't want Bai Ling to die too, right? Don't worry, don't you trust me?" Jun Xiaoyao said. "Bai Ling trusts you." Bai Ling nodded slightly, gathered her courage, and stepped in. A strange scene happened. As soon as Bai Ling stepped in, the formation actually began to collapse on its own. As expected. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Bai Ling was formed from a drop of ancient blood in the Temple of Doom. She wasn't affected and could even break the formation. After the formation was removed, everyone pushed open the bronze door and entered. Looking around, the interior was extremely spacious, and there was an ancient pyramid-like building in the middle. At the top of the building there was a throne. A figure wearing a dark blue dress made of ice silk and a white jade mask was sitting on it. It felt like it had been silent for thousands of years. A dense black aura was constantly spreading out from her body. The gray fog within the Temple of Doom originated from this place. That's... Queen Medusa and the others were stunned. They could feel the terrifying pressure from that figure. Even though many years had passed, that might still cause them to tremble in fear. Sovereign? No, could it be Emperor? Queen Medusa exclaimed. I don't think so. A true emperor, even if silent and fallen, can still suppress the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The pressure can't just be like this. It should be just a contaminated clone. I wonder if there's still a remnant soul? Jun Xiaoyao tried to figure it out. He was now certain that the bloodline of the Nagas definitely came from the emperor. Suddenly, Fairy Maiden Yuan walked to Jun Xiaoyao's side and whispered into his ear, "Young Master Jun, can I ask you for a favor?" Fairy Maiden Yuan bit her lip slightly with a pitiful look of expectation. She looked beautiful and charming. "What is it? Can you give me a drop of sacred body of the ancient's blood?" Fairy Maiden Yuan seemed to be a little embarrassed. Her delicate face blushed seductively. "Are you trying to squeeze me dry?" Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. Did she really think that sacred body of the ancient's blood was like cabbage? "I would like to, but with your body, I can't squeeze you dry even if I die of exhaustion, can I?" Fairy Maiden Yuan blinked her watery eyes. "Ahem." Jun Xiaoyao coughed dryly. This was indeed an irrefutable fact. "Are you sure you can get an opportunity?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. He had always been a person who didn't do anything without benefits. If there wasn't an opportunity, he would never give Fairy Maiden Yuan the sacred body of the ancient's blood. "I'm sure," Fairy Maiden Yuan said confidently. "Okay." Jun Xiaoyao didn't waste any time and immediately gave a drop of sacred body of the ancient's blood to Fairy Maiden Yuan. Fairy Maiden Yuan took the drop of blood and then took out something that looked like a jade pendant from her spatial device. There was also a drop of blood in the jade pendant. The drop of blood was as red as an agate. It seemed to be some kind of blood. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes narrowed. That drop of blood made his sacred body of the ancient's blood feel threatened. "What kind of blood is that?" Jun Xiaoyao was secretly puzzled. Then, Fairy Maiden Yuan stepped onto the pyramid. Suddenly, the silent figure seemed to tremble. Rolling black fog surged out. Seeing this, Fairy Maiden Yuan took out the drop of sacred body of the ancient's blood and dropped it on the figure. Then, she inserted the jade pendant into the figure's body. Suddenly, a lot of black fog surged out of the figure's body. However, when it came into contact with the sacred body of the ancient's blood, it emitted white smoke. When the jade pendant was inserted into the figure, time and space in the entire temple seemed to freeze. Immediately after, a surge of supreme soul power erupted. That was the remnant soul of that figure that had been contaminated. In an instant, everyone seemed to have fallen into a nightmare. Many scenes appeared in front of Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. A woman of unparalleled beauty came out of Luo Shui and was worshipped by all the ancestors of the Naga tribe. Then, the beautiful figure went to a wild, ancient, and mysterious place. It didn't seem to be in the 9 heavens immortal realm. The wisp of black fog descended on the great emperor, swallowing and eroding everything. The woman of unparalleled beauty was also contaminated and erupted with monarch-level strength. Then, the scene blurred, leaving only a clone and a remnant soul that returned to the ancestral planet of the Naga tribe, in the ancestral temple. Then, the rolling black fog erupted and drowned the ancestral temple. All the top powerhouses of the Naga tribe had their blood contaminated. They fought each other crazily and died. Jun Xiaoyao immediately understood what was going on as the scenes flashed through his mind. In this temple, the so-called mythical emperor should be related to this peerless woman. The mythical emperor, the goddess of Luo Shui Mi Fei. As for the existence related to immortals, Jun Xiaoyao thought. It was very likely to be related to the legendary goddess of creation, Nuwa. Jun Xiaoyao didn't expect that he would be able to come into contact with such a secret here. It was obvious that the mythical emperor, Mi Fei, originated from the bloodline inheritance of Nuwa. The gods worshipped by the Naga tribe were Nuwa and Mi Fei. Jun Xiaoyao also saw Tian Yuan standing in front of Mi Fei's clone as if she was receiving some kind of succession. What exactly is Tian Yuan's background? How did she receive the succession of Mi Fei and Nuwa? Jun Xiaoyao murmured. At that moment, a shadow of unparalleled elegance suddenly appeared behind Jun Xiaoyao. A sigh was heard. I think I saw a woman in white with her back facing the world, suppressing the source of darkness. She was alone, dominating the world. The voice was like the sound of nature. Jun Xiaoyao's figure shuddered. It was the same sentence again. Yuantian Supreme's fragmented soul had said the same thing at the supreme treasure of Yuantian. A woman in white with her back facing the world, suppressing the darkness and dominating the world. Who was she? Chapter 640. Jun Xiaoyao had never thought of himself as a person who was willing to sacrifice. Everything he did was to allow himself to reach the peak, to look down on the past and present, and to overlook the ages. In his opinion, the idea of saving the world was somewhat naive. Jun Xiaoyao did not think that he would be the one dressed in white who turned his back on the world and suppressed the source of darkness. Of course, if Jun Xiaoyao had the strength to spare to save the world, it was not impossible for him to do so under the premise that he did not endanger himself. Jun Xiaoyao admired those who sacrifice themselves for the sake of the world, but he was not that kind of person. Jun Xiaoyao thought about this and turned around. The hazy figure was just a remnant soul. She was tall and slender, with a graceful figure that was as soft as water. Although she wore a white jade mask on her face, one could imagine that she must have been a stunning existence. "Senior, you still have a remnant soul left," Jun Xiaoyao said. Even in the face of the mythical emperor, Jun Xiaoyao's tone was still indifferent. "You are from that clan," Mi Fei's remnant soul said. "Oh, do you know them, senior?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. "That clan has stood in the mystic realm for countless eras. Even the dark turmoil and the foreign wars could not make them fall. There are still several members of your clan who are fighting to suppress the turmoil," Mi Fei said with a sigh. Obviously, even the mythical emperor was full of admiration for the Jun family. It was definitely the most ancient force in the mystic realm and the most untouchable. "I never thought that I would be able to see someone who broke the 10 shackles and had the sacred body of the ancients in my lifetime. You may be the biggest anomaly in this chaotic world." Mi Fei's tone was deep and meaningful. Jun Xiaoyao took note of the words, "as long as I live." "Senior, you still exist somewhere?" Jun Xiaoyao asked curiously. "If you continue to grow, you may see me at the source one day." Mi Fei murmured. "The source? Where is that?" Jun Xiaoyao had another mystery in his heart. Mi Fei did not answer. Instead, she said, "Good karma leads to good karma. Perhaps there is something you need beneath the throne. I only hope that in the future, you will have the ability to find me at the source and fight the great tribulation together." Mi Fei's voice echoed with an ethereal aura. "The source, the great tribulation of the epoch." Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. He realized that he seemed to have come into contact with something on a deeper level. It was related to this glorious and chaotic great world. "By the way, that companion of mine was actually able to obtain your legacy." Jun Xiaoyao voiced his doubts. Mi Fei took a deep look at fairy maiden Yuan, who was digesting the inheritance, and shook her head. "She's just a pitiful person." "What do you mean?" Jun Xiaoyao was confused. How could he become a pitiful person after obtaining the inheritance of the mythic emperor? Mi Fei didn't explain. She seemed to be looking into the distance and muttered to herself, "I can feel that this noble one is facing something very terrifying." Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. She was really a riddler. Could she make herself clear? What was the point of being so secretive? But then, Mi Fei's remnant soul turned into a wisp of green smoke and disappeared. Everyone in the temple came back to their senses at the same time. Could it be that those scenes are what the ancestors of my snake people tribe experienced? Queen Medusa also saw the scenes from before. The gods of the Serpent Men tribe were tainted with strange and ominous things and returned. The strange gray fog spread and spread throughout the Serpent Men tribe. The Serpent Men experts fell into a frenzy and killed each other. Almost all of them died. The Snake People tribe had also fallen from its peak to its current state. I didn't expect the Serpent Men tribe to have such a past. Green Snake General also found it unbelievable. They only saw the Serpent Men tribe's distant past. They did not hear the conversation between Jun Xiaoyao and Mi Fei's remnant soul. Mi Fei gave too much information. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't digest it all in a short time. But now what he cared about most was the greatest opportunity in the Temple of Doom. Is it under the throne? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself as he stepped onto the pyramid. Fairy Yuan was still there with her eyes closed, receiving Mi Fei's inheritance. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Fairy Yuan. With her eyes closed, Fairy Yuan's face, which was as pretty as a fairy's, appeared tranquil and beautiful. Why did Mi Fei say she was a pitiful person? What was her identity? How did she receive Mi Fei's inheritance? Who exactly did the drop of blood in the jade pendant she threw out belong to? Where did it come from? Jun Xiaoyao took a long look at him before turning his eyes away. Under the throne, Jun Xiaoyao found an old box. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't open the box immediately. Queen Medusa and the others saw this and knew that the greatest opportunity in the Temple of Doom might be in the old box. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao put away the old box, Queen Medusa and the others didn't have any intention of refuting. If it weren't for Jun Xiaoyao's sacred body of the ancient's blood essence, they wouldn't have been able to enter the Temple of Doom so smoothly. It was even more impossible for Queen Medusa to get the ancient blood that could transform the Serpent Men. They were already satisfied. However, just as Jun Xiaoyao was about to put away the old box, all of a sudden, 4 shadows darted toward Jun Xiaoyao like phantoms, and at the same time, they used their ultimate killing moves. Shadow Blade, Heart Destruction Palm, Sorcerer Curse, Demon Owl Stab. Any one of the 4 ultimate moves could kill an ordinary saint. Not to mention that they were all assassination moves at the same time. This scene could be said to have caused Queen Medusa and the others to be unable to react in time. Jun Xiaoyao, who was surrounded by the 4 ultimate assassination moves, looked normal. I, the Son of God, was wondering how long you could hold it in. Now that the treasure has appeared, you finally can't help but let the cat out of the bag. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly, and at the same time, a wave of mana immunity spread out. The translucent, grayish-black shadow blade dissipated into the void. Don't be affected by him. Kill him, one of the black-clothed men said. The other 3 men strengthened their moves again and went for the kill. Jun Xiaoyao flicked his finger and slashed out the sword chant of the Immortal Slayer, which collided with the Heart Destruction Palm. Then, a divine chain of order appeared between his eyebrows and turned into a golden short sword. It was the primitive Emperor sword. The primitive Emperor sword collided with the Demon Owl stab, and thousands of ripples burst out. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao's whole body surged with golden light as he directly resisted the Sorcerer Curse. The strange Sorcerer Curse that could instantly turn a saint into black pus and blood did not affect Jun Xiaoyao at all. His sacred body of the ancients was immune to many strange energies. Boom! In just a breath's time, the ultimate attack of the 4 ultimate assassins was easily neutralized by Jun Xiaoyao. 4 figures floated in the void. All 4 of them wore black robes and exuded a strange and cold aura. There was also a faint smell of blood. Clearly, the hands of these people were stained with countless lives. It's the 13 bandits of Emperor Road. Yen Rumming, Tang Jade Hair, and the others could not help but exclaim. Even they had heard of the 13 bandits of Emperor Road. They robbed and assassinated sky prides everywhere. They also robbed sky prides of their physiques and bloodline origin. The immortal Slayer bandit, who ranked first among the 13 bandits, was an extremely mysterious existence that made all the outlawed sky prides wary. Chapter 641. You've already sensed our presence, one of the 4 great bandits, the Shadow Demon Bandit said coldly. He was the one who was keeping an eye on Jun Xiaoyao's movements in Shangqiu Ancient City. The concealment technique that you think you're good at is only child's play of hide and seek in my eyes. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head with a smile. Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was extremely powerful. His divine sense was far sharper than ordinary people too. Jun Xiaoyao had already sensed the Shadow Demon Bandit's presence when he was still in Shangqiu Ancient City. However, in his eyes, the Shadow Demon Bandit was only a rat in the gutter that was not worth mentioning. As such, he had never bothered with them. Now that the 4 great bandits had made their move, Jun Xiaoyao had no choice but to take them out. How dare you attack young Master Dai? Queen Medusa, General Blue Snake, and the others made their move. You can only utilize the strength of a sacred realm cultivator here, one of the 4 great bandits, the heart-crushing bandit said coldly. He and the other great bandit, the Heavenly Witch Bandit, fended off Queen Medusa and the others. The Shadow Demon Bandit and the Demon Bandit charged at Jun Xiaoyao. Shadow Demon descends. Demon Bandit's clone. The 2 were very decisive too. They knew Jun Xiaoyao was not an easy opponent to deal with, thus they immediately executed their strongest move. The rift was torn apart as a terrifying shadow demon that seemed to have descended from a different dimension appeared. It was half illusionary with a chaotic aura. A huge pitch-black bird appeared behind the demon bandit with a chaotic demonic intent. Jun Xiaoyao sharply noticed that the source of the bandit's strength was not compatible with the 9 heavens immortal realm. It felt like they did not share the same origin. Could it be? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered with astonishment as he thought of a possibility. He activated the Supreme Being Bone in his chest. Boundless heavenly power surged out, causing the sky to tremble. Vaguely, an incomparably vast palm pressed down like a 5-fingered mountain. The giant hand was covered in ancient runes with a great power that could kill all living things. It was the Hand of Heaven. Boom! The Hand of Heaven smashed the Shadow Demon and the pitch-black Demon Owl into pieces. Shadow Fiend Bandit and Devil Owl Bandit retreated at the same time, spitting out blood from their mouth. They looked at each other and took out many divine weapons. Explode. Among these divine weapons there were even supreme weapons. These were the spoils of war they looted after robbing many heaven's favorites. Now, he did not feel any heartache at all, directly causing it to explode. The explosion of a supreme artifact was so powerful that even a saint could be killed by it if he was not careful. Boom, boom, boom. The entire temple was shaking. If not for the special domain suppressing the area, the entire Temple of Doom would have collapsed from the explosion. Is he dead? The Shadow Demon Bandit asked with lingering fear. Suddenly, a sword finger pointed out from the smoke. Poochie! Blood splattered across the sky. The Shadow Fiend Bandit's forehead was pierced, and his Yuan spirit was shattered. Oh no! Demon Bandit felt a chill in his heart and quickly retreated. Jun Xiaoyao's figure was revealed. He was clean and unharmed, and his clothes were not even wrinkled. With Jun Xiaoyao's incredible physical body, even the explosion of a supreme artifact could not hurt him at all. Jun Xiaoyao reached out his hand, and the law turned into a giant palm, grabbing Demon Bandit. However, he did not kill Demon Bandit immediately. On the other side, the Heart Destroyer Bandit and the Heavenly Witch Bandit were also suppressed by Queen Medusa and the Green Snake General. Master, what should we do with these people? Queen Medusa asked. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at the 3 subdued bandits and said, You've been eyeing the Son of God since the beginning. What are you up to? Demon Bandit and the others snorted and did not say anything. Jun Xiaoyao did not mind. He smiled faintly and said, "Is it because of my sacred body of the ancients and bones of supremacy? The leader of the 13 bandits, the mysterious immortal bandit, is collecting all kinds of bloodlines. What is his purpose?" Demon Bandit snorted and said, "We've been defeated by you today, but you should know that the 4 of us are the weakest among the 13 bandits. The other 9 are all stronger than us, not to mention the top few bandits, who are more than enough to deal with you. If our leader, the immortal bandit, attacks, even the son of God of the Jun family will have to bleed." Jun Xiaoyao chuckled and said, "It's okay. When the time comes, the Son of God will send all the 13 bandits to hell together. But before that, I have another thing that interests me. Where did you come from?" As soon as he finished speaking, the Demon Bandit and the other 2's expressions changed slightly. What do you mean by that?" Demon Bandit's eyes flickered with panic. "Are you still trying to act dumb at a time like this? If I'm not mistaken, you must be from a foreign realm, right?" "What? The 13 bandits are from a foreign realm?" Yen Rumming, Tang Jade Hair, and the others widened their eyes in surprise. The foreign realm had always been on the opposite side of the 9 heavens, immortal realm. The invasions of the foreign realm in history were wars that could change the history of the world. Every war would shatter the heavens and the earth, shatter the universe, and shake eras. And now, the creatures of the foreign realm had infiltrated the ancient path. It was completely out of their expectations. After all, the foreign realm had been quiet for a long time. The people of the 9 heavens, immortal realm, had become careless. If the news was made public, it would surely cause a great uproar. "You!" Demon Bandit and the others panicked. They had always killed the geniuses with a single blow. They never had the chance to expose their identities. But now, they were caught red-handed by Jun Xiaoyao. "What kind of background do you have? What kind of organization is behind you?" Jun Xiaoyao asked calmly. "Just give up. We won't say anything," the demonic thief shouted. Jun Xiaoyao did not say anything and slapped him. Demon Bandit was smashed into a bloody pulp. Demon Bandit and Heart Destroyer Bandit's faces were pale. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand again and killed Heart Destroyer Bandit. Blood splattered on Demon Bandit's body, making him feel like his mind was about to collapse. Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a cold smile. He activated the Primal Chaos Divine Grindstone again and crushed it. This kind of crushing and torturing of the soul was not something an ordinary person could endure. After being tortured, the Sky Witch Bandit finally spilled some secret information. The 13 bandits lurked in the ancient path of the 9 heavens, immortal realm. One of their goals was to spy on the strength of the younger generation of the 9 heavens, immortal realm. It could be seen that the foreign realm, which had been quiet for many years, was ready to make a move. The shadow of war was added to this world of great battles. Besides, another piece of news made Jun Xiaoyao raise his eyebrows. He learned from Demon Bandit that their boss, the leader of the 13 bandits, the immortal slaying bandit, was destined to kill him. "I see. I understand now. Looks like the first of the 7 defiant emperors has appeared." Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Chapter 642. It had been quite some time since Jun Xiaoyao set foot on the ultimate ancient road. However, he had yet to stumble into the 7 defiant emperors. Jun Xiaoyao did not think the will of the immortal realm was merciful enough to forgive him. However, it was said that the 7 emperors were hidden in the shadows and did not reveal themselves. They would show up one by one on the ultimate ancient road to deal a fatal blow to Jun Xiaoyao. Now, the strongest of the 7 defiant emperors had finally shown himself. The problem isn't the enemies on the surface, but the rats hiding in the dark. "It's easier now that I know their identities," Jun Xiaoyao said confidently. Once he caught the 7 defiant emperors one by one, he would be able to torture them to death. In addition to it, The heavenly witch-robber also revealed that the 13 great bandits were backed by a faction called the Paramitha Organization. Jun Xiaoyao was sure that there was no immortal faction called the Paramitha Organization in the Nine Heavens immortal realm. In other words, the organization was most likely from a foreign realm. The heavenly witch-robber had no idea what they were up to. He was ranked the lowest among the 13 great bandits, so he did not have access to any useful information. If he wanted to learn more, he would have to catch the great bandits who were ranked higher. Or he would have to take down the immortal execution bandit who was ranked first. It seems like I have something else to do, Jun Xiaoyao murmured. The 13 great bandits might be well hidden, but there were still traces left behind. Besides, Jun Xiaoyao still had Fairy Yuan by his side. The goddess mill behind her was not only a brothel, it was also a reputable intelligence organization in the immortal realm. With their strength, they might be able to find some clues about the 13 bandit. Having this thought, Jun Xiaoyao killed the heavenly witch-robber and looked at Fairy Yuan. Fairy Yuan's delicate body suddenly trembled, and her tightly shut beautiful eyes finally opened. A wisp of light was circulating on her forehead as her eyes emitted a brilliant glow. Although Fairy Yuan's cultivation realm didn't have any obvious increase. However, Jun Xiaoyao could sense that Fairy Yuan had undergone some changes. The heavenly maiden Yuan from before was like a fairy that had accidentally fallen into the mortal world. And now this immortal had awakened. Where did she come from? Who did the drop of blood in the jade pendant belong to? Why did Mi Fei say that she was a pitiful person? Jun Xiaoyao was still puzzled. As if sensing Jun Xiaoyao's attention, Fairy Maiden Yuan turned her gaze over, her eyes rippling like water. With her hands clasped behind her back, she walked over to Jun Xiaoyao with a joyful expression on her face. It was obvious that she had gained something. She leaned closer to Jun Xiaoyao. Her flawless and exquisite face was as delicate and lustrous as white porcelain. That pair of eyes that were as clear as gemstones stared fixedly at Jun Xiaoyao as she exhaled and said, "Young Master Jun, your humble servant thanks you very much." After she finished speaking, her cherry lips pecked Jun Xiaoyao's cheek like a dragonfly skimming the surface of the water. Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change. It was better to say that he was used to being harassed, but he could feel that Fairy Maiden Yuan's words were sincere. And not like before, wearing a mask. When Yen Ruming saw this scene, she felt a little sour in her heart. When Queen Medusa saw this, she also felt an inexplicable sense of discomfort. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao didn't have any reaction, Fairy Maiden Yuan also muttered in a low voice that he didn't know how to appreciate the situation. Then she smiled and asked, "Young Master Jun, aren't you curious about what inheritance I have obtained?" "That's your business. What does it have to do with me?" Jun Xiaoyao didn't care at all. Even if Fairy Maiden Yuan had obtained the inheritance of Mi Fei or Nuwa, in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, she wasn't much of a threat. "Alright, this matter is over. Let's leave first," Jun Xiaoyao said. Everyone nodded slightly. This time, it could be considered a success. As for the dead Thunder Snake General and Hell Snake General, only Green Snake General would sigh in his heart. Everyone left the Temple of Doom. When they came out, they realized that the gray fog had thinned a little. Perhaps in the future, the Temple of Doom could be restored to its original state. When they saw Jun Xiaoyao, Queen Medusa, and the others walk out of the Temple of Doom, all the serpent men outside heaved a sigh of relief and cheered. Everyone, although Thunder Snake General and Hell Snake General have fallen, the serpent men, under young Master Jun's leadership, will be even more glorious and prosperous. Queen Medusa began to brainwash them. She also told them about how Jun Xiaoyao had donated his blood essence to purify the serpent men's ancient blood in the Temple of Doom. After hearing this, the serpent men, who had resisted Jun Xiaoyao, had a 360-degree change in their view of Jun Xiaoyao. "Thank you, Son of God, for your kindness to the serpent men." Some elders of the serpent men clasped their hands and bowed. Many serpent men followed suit. But there were still some serpent men who rejected outsiders and found it difficult to speak. But at this moment, a terrifying spatial vortex appeared in the sky above the ancient heavenly underworld star. A spatial gate appeared out of thin air. Oh no, is it the executor of the ancient road? Queen Medusa's face changed. She had already removed the ceiling formation, and the other human prodigies had fled for their lives. The commotion in this star field must have alarmed the executor of the ancient road. The executor's arrival in the form of a spatial gate was enough to show his anxiety and anger. Before he even came out of the spatial door, a thunderous roar that shook the heavens rang out. "Serpent men, how dare you hunt the prodigies of the ancient road? Today I will completely annihilate your race." As the voice fell, a terrifying figure in golden armor stepped out of the spatial gate. He looked like a god of punishment. As he stepped out, a vast supreme aura covered the entire ancient heavenly underworld star. The earth began to tremble and cracks spread. All of the serpent men were trembling under the might of this supreme being. Many of the serpent men were crushed to the ground, their liver and gallbladder shattered. "Mother, I'm scared." Bai Ling also burrowed her head into Queen Medusa's embrace, her delicate body trembling. "Humph. Now you're scared. How dare you hunt the prodigies of the ancient road?" The executor of the ancient road stepped forward like thunder. Even the strongest of the serpent people, Queen Medusa, felt as if she was about to suffocate when she sensed this terrifying utmost exalted might. She couldn't help but look pleadingly at Jun Xiaoyao. At this moment, the cold and domineering Queen Medusa seemed to have become a woman looking for someone to rely on. Even as the atmosphere turned somber, a calm voice was heard all of a sudden. "Executor of the ancient road, why are you so angry? It's just a few insignificant ants that died. Who dares to speak nonsense?" The executor of the ancient road frowned. However, when he looked in the direction of the voice and saw the white-robed, peerless figure, his expression changed. His expression froze at first, then his eyes widened slightly, revealing a look of bewilderment. After carefully inspecting for a moment, he sucked in a breath of cold air and felt his bones go numb. He quickly retracted his supreme aura and appeared in front of the white-robed figure. Clasping his hands, he smiled and said, "So it's the Son of God of the Jun family. I hope you don't take offense, Son of God." A moment ago, the executor of the ancient road had been about to destroy the entire planet. Now, he was just an ordinary middle-aged man with a smile on his face. All of the serpent men were stunned. Queen Medusa was also very surprised. Her bright red lips were wide open. She remembered what Jun Xiaoyao had said before. Even the executor of the ancient road, who could destroy the serpent men with a wave of his hand, had to bow his head in front of him. At this moment it was reality. What was monstrous power? This was monstrous power. Chapter 643. Anyone who could be considered a taboo on the ancient road had to have a powerful background. Those who were talented and strong, but didn't have a powerful background, could only be called dark horses. Not even the executors of the ancient road would dare to offend someone like Jun Xiaoyao, who was a freakishly talented genius with a powerful background. After all, in the face of the Jun clan, a paragon wouldn't be able to cause much of a stir. Besides, the executors of the ancient road knew that there were some old freaks from the Jun clan at the end of the ancient road. Furthermore, they were from the hidden bloodline. Because of that, the executors of the ancient road didn't dare to offend Jun Xiaoyao. Of course, the executors of the ancient road were paragons, so there was no need for them to bow and scrape. However, their attitude was very calm, and they didn't put on any airs of a paragon. "Don't worry about it," Jun Xiaoyao said with a faint smile. "You're just doing your job impartially. The ancient road needs people like you to maintain its stability." Face was a matter of mutual respect. After all, the executors of the ancient road was a paragon, and Jun Xiaoyao wasn't going to rely on his background to act so arrogantly. In response, the executors of the ancient road's smile grew even wider, and they found Jun Xiaoyao even more pleasing to the eye. Looking around, he said, "Son of God, the situation here." "It's nothing," Jun Xiaoyao said. "Just a small accident. The snake men have already pledged allegiance to the imperial court, so they won't do anything to harm any of the chosen from the ancient road." "I see," the executors of the ancient road said with a smile. "Since you have the Son of God to vouch for you, then everything will be fine." Jun Xiaoyao's words indicated that the snake men were now his subordinate. The executors of the ancient road didn't want to make things difficult for themselves. "Many thanks," Jun Xiaoyao said, clasping hands. "You're welcome," the executors of the ancient road said, smiling. Perhaps this good karma would be repaid in the future. Furthermore, he hadn't paid a price for it. The ones who had died were just some insignificant chosen. However, when he heard that Jun Xiaoyao had killed Mo Jinyu of the Holy Spirit Island and Sheng Hongyi of the Holy Orchid Cult, he was shocked. The executors of the ancient road's eyes shone with astonishment. After that, the ancient law enforcer left with a smile. Only when the spatial gate above the starry sky had completely disappeared did all the serpent men beings heave a sigh of relief. The way they looked at Jun Xiaoyao changed again. Even the serpent men, who were reluctant to submit to Jun Xiaoyao before, had looks of awe in their eyes at the moment. "Thank you, Master. If it wasn't for you..." Queen Medusa stepped forward, and her eyes were filled with reverence and joy. She had indeed chosen the right person. "Young Master, you're too amazing." Bai Ling's eyes were also sparkling. Young girls worshipped great heroes. The current Jun Xiaoyao was undoubtedly the savior of the entire Naga tribe. Mother and daughter looked at Jun Xiaoyao with eyes full of worship. "It's fine. You serpent men can continue to live on the ancient underworld planet for now. After I finish traversing the ancient road, I'll arrange for people to move you to the Emperor's court in the barren heaven immortal domain. During this time, with my name, neither the executors of the ancient road nor the other chosen will do anything to the Naga tribe," Jun Xiaoyao said. When Queen Medusa and the others heard this, they thanked him profusely and felt incomparably grateful. The serpent men were also grateful to Jun Xiaoyao, and no longer had any thoughts of resistance. The curtains had been drawn on the ancient underworld planet and the Temple of Doom. After that, Queen Medusa distributed the ancient blood she had obtained from the blood pool in the Temple of Doom to the serpent men. The bloodline of the serpent men was very ancient. However, because of an accident, the serpent men had completely declined. Now, the ancient blood could be used to reactivate their bloodline. In a short time, a large number of experts would emerge from the serpent men. Queen Medusa directly gave the most luxurious palace to Jun Xiaoyao. In the spacious and luxurious palace, Jun Xiaoyao sat cross-legged and looked at the ancient box in front of him. It was the thing he had obtained from the throne of the Temple of Doom. Jun Xiaoyao was curious as to what kind of treasures could be found in there. "It's related to the mythical emperors and immortals. It shouldn't be too bad," Jun Xiaoyao murmured as he opened the box. Suddenly, golden light flowed, and the sound of immortals could be heard. A golden legend? Jun Xiaoyao squinted slightly and looked at it. There were a few things inside. The first thing Jun Xiaoyao saw was a golden scroll with golden foil, and the sound of immortals could be heard. Every word in it was like a rotating star, describing the truth of heaven and earth and the mysteries of the universe. It's the Immortal Sutra. While Jun Xiaoyao had expected something like this to happen, he still couldn't help but be overjoyed when he saw the scripture for himself. The Jun family must also have the Immortal Sutra. They didn't give it to Jun Xiaoyao before because they were afraid of spoiling it. After all, Jun Xiaoyao was still too young. Even some incomplete Immortal Sutras were enough for some Supreme Being experts to study for countless years. Jun Xiaoyao himself, on the other hand, had just gotten his hands on an incredibly precious scroll of mystical scriptures. Most importantly, this was the complete version of the Immortal Sutra, not the incomplete Immortal Sutra that only had a few pages left. After a rough look, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes surged with a bright light. The Immortal Sutra of Creation, is it really related to the legendary goddess of creation, Niwa? Jun Xiaoyao thought. Mi Fei should have the bloodline of Niwa, and she was also at the mythical emperor level. If Niwa existed, she might not just be a mythical emperor. It was possible that she was the legendary immortal mortal. The Immortal Sutra of Creation, mastering the way of creation, shaping the world, and giving birth to the four poles. When cultivated to the extreme, it can even create living beings. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were very bright. This didn't just mean that Jun Xiaoyao had the opportunity to break the 9 poles and cultivate the 10th immortal qi of creation. It also meant that the divine origin in his dantian had the opportunity to transform. Because in Jun Xiaoyao's imagination, the divine origin in his body was like the singularity of the universe, just a beginning. In the future, Jun Xiaoyao would use the divine origin as the foundation to derive his own world and his own great path. The way of creation would undoubtedly be of great help to Jun Xiaoyao in deriving a world. This Immortal Sutra of Creation came at the right time. If I completely master the way of creation, the divine origin in my body will undergo a huge change. In the future, I can derive a world and raise gods and demons in captivity, or create billions of living beings, gather the power of faith, and create an immortal divine kingdom. In an instant, thousands of ideas flashed through Jun Xiaoyao's mind. It could be said that the value of the Immortal Sutra of Creation to Jun Xiaoyao was not as simple as an Immortal Sutra. It was also an important means of deriving the great path of origin. Its importance was no less than the 3 Lives Immortal Sutra. Next, Jun Xiaoyao looked at the second item in the ancient box. It was an ancient artifact in the shape of a jade disc. It looked very ancient. Jun Xiaoyao took a closer look and saw that there were 2 extremely ancient words engraved on the jade disc. Chapter 644. Creation. Jun Xiaoyao murmured softly. It was a treasure shaped like a jade disc with the word creation engraved on it. He could not help but think of a supreme treasure, the creation jade disc. In addition to the word creation engraved on the jade disc, there were also engravings of mountains, rivers, seas, sun, moon, stars, grass, trees, insects, and fish. It was as if thousands of living beings were engraved on it, operating creation, and there was a faint flow of qi. Obviously, this was a supreme treasure that was extremely helpful for comprehending the Immortal Sutra of Creation. There is immortal qi flowing on this creation jade disc. Could it be an immortal artifact, but it feels incomplete? Jun Xiaoyao picked up the creation jade disc and pondered in his heart. Immortal artifacts were existences above emperor weapons, and there were not many of them since ancient times. If emperor weapons could suppress the fate of an immortal force, then immortal artifacts could suppress the fate of an immortal domain or even a world. Awesome literature website. Although Jun Xiaoyao did not think that his luck was bad, he did not think that he could randomly pick up an immortal artifact. Moreover, if it was really an immortal artifact, Mi Fei would have taken it to suppress the darkness, and would not have left it here. Could it be that this creation jade disc is an imitation of an immortal artifact, or is it just a part of an immortal artifact? Jun Xiaoyao pondered. Although Jun Xiaoyao did not know the details of the creation jade disc for the time being, Jun Xiaoyao already understood its purpose. Obviously, compared to using the creation jade disc as an offensive weapon, its greater use was to assist in comprehending the Immortal Sutra of Creation, and to be used as a cornerstone for the derivation of a world. If Jun Xiaoyao expanded the divine origin in his body in the future, he could place the creation jade disc in his world, stabilize the expansion of the world, and become the strongest cornerstone. The Immortal Sutra of Creation and the creation jade disc complement each other. Not only can it help me break through the limit and cultivate the 10th strand of immortal qi, but it can also let me control the Tao of creation of the world and expand the divine origin in my body. Jun Xiaoyao was a little excited, which was rare. Although this was not an increase in cultivation level, it was much more important to Jun Xiaoyao than a mere increase in cultivation level. Right now, he could kill half-step great saint. If Jun Xiaoyao cultivated the 10th strand of immortal qi, the divine origin in his body would expand and give birth to a world. Perhaps he could even kill a true great sage. Suppressing the joy in his heart, Jun Xiaoyao continued to look at the last item in the box. It was also a scripture, but not an immortal scripture. It was engraved with the image of a god with a human head and a snake body mending the sky. It's a cultivation method suitable for the serpent men. It seems that Mi Fei has left a path for the serpent men to rise again. Jun Xiaoyao didn't need this cultivation technique. Medusa, Jun Xiaoyao called out casually. Master! Outside the palace, Queen Medusa swayed her slender waist as she happily arrived. Who would have thought that this vicious beauty, who was as fierce as she was beautiful, would really be like a maid at this moment, guarding the entrance of the palace and listening to Jun Xiaoyao's instructions. Looking at Jun Xiaoyao, Queen Medusa's cold and beautiful face revealed a rare hint of uneasiness. Master won't really want me to do that, right? Queen Medusa was a little nervous. She had been focusing all her energy on revitalizing the Serpent Men tribe. She had no time to think about the matters between men and women. Moreover, she had used the blood origin life creation technique to create a daughter. Thus, there was even less need to think about partners. So up until now, the only person who had come close to her body was Jun Xiaoyao. She was very nervous. If Jun Xiaoyao really wanted her to be a bed-warming maid, what should she do? Jun Xiaoyao did not notice the nervousness in Queen Medusa's eyes and directly handed the cultivation technique to her. The Serpent Men tribe can cultivate this cultivation technique. Together with the ancient blood, the Serpent Men tribe will rise rapidly in a short time, Jun Xiaoyao said. Queen Medusa was stunned at first, but after receiving the cultivation technique, her beautiful eyes shone brightly. This cultivation technique was very suitable for the Serpent Men tribe. Many thanks, Master. Queen Medusa bowed to Jun Xiaoyao. She was truly grateful for what Jun Xiaoyao had done for her. Jun Xiaoyao had purified the Serpent Men's ancient blood and saved them from being exterminated by the executors of the ancient road. Now, he had given the Serpent Men this cultivation technique. Jun Xiaoyao's kindness to the Serpent Men tribe could not be repaid in 10,000 lifetimes. The Serpent Men tribe will forever be loyal to Master. If we disobey, may the heavens strike us with lightning and exterminate us. Queen Medusa swore. This also represented her determination. Jun Xiaoyao nodded in satisfaction. There was no need to doubt the Serpent Men's loyalty. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand and said, Very good. You can go now. However, Queen Medusa still did not move and maintained her kneeling posture. Because of the angle, Queen Medusa's breasts were exceptionally white and the curve was too exaggerated. You, Jun Xiaoyao said. Queen Medusa's charming face blushed slightly and said, Didn't Master say that he wants you to warm his bed? Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. Queen Medusa was slightly shy and lowered her head without saying a word. It's just a joke. You can go now. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand. He was not Su Xian and did not have the same preferences as the Serpent Men. Although Queen Medusa's body was indeed very intimate. A hint of disappointment flashed in Queen Medusa's eyes, but she could only nod slightly and leave. Next, Jun Xiaoyao planned to stay in the ancient underworld star and comprehend the Immortal Sutra of Fortune. He had to cultivate the immortal qi of fortune. It would be even better if he could expand the divine origin in his body. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was about to cultivate in seclusion, the tiny jade hair came. Young Master, Heavenly Maiden Yuan is looking for you. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes showed a hint of surprise. He got up and went to find Heavenly Maiden Yuan. Jun Xiaoyao came to a cliff where he could see the starry sky. A girl in a light blue gauze dress stood on the peak of the mountain against the wind. A gust of wind blew past, blowing up her hair. As if sensing Jun Xiaoyao's footsteps, the girl looked back and smiled. He had to admit that the girl was very beautiful at this moment. It reminded Jun Xiaoyao of a poem. He could not help but murmur. There is a beauty in the north, peerless and independent. A glance at a city, another glance at a country. As soon as the words fell, Heavenly Maiden Yuan was slightly startled at first, but then a beautiful smile appeared on her delicate face with a touch of crimson. Young master, are you praising me with this poem? You'll make me proud. What do you want from me? Jun Xiaoyao asked. I want to go back to the goddess mill and get the position of successor owner, Heavenly Maiden Yuan said. That's a good thing. Congratulations, Jun Xiaoyao said. Heavenly Maiden Yuan now had no competitors, so it was natural for her to get the position of successor owner of the goddess mill. And this was also good for Jun Xiaoyao. In the future, he could also use the power of Heavenly Maiden Yuan and the goddess mill to investigate information about the 13 thieves. Little did he know that Heavenly Maiden Yuan, who heard this, lowered her eyebrows, and there was no joy on her face. In that case, I will have to leave young master's side. How is that a good thing? The girl's tone was full of resentment and coquettishness, which was very touching. Jun Xiaoyao did not say anything. When Heavenly Maiden Yuan saw this, a trace of undetectable sadness flashed in her eyes, and then a smile appeared on her face. I'm going to leave. Young master, are you not sad at all? No, Jun Xiaoyao said without hesitation. So heartless, Heavenly Maiden Yuan said coquettishly. Then, she fixed her eyes on Jun Xiaoyao, and her tone suddenly became as gentle as water. Young master, before I leave, let me dance for you one more time. After that, without waiting for Jun Xiaoyao to answer, Heavenly Maiden Yuan stretched out her soft and beautiful limbs and began to dance under the starry sky. She was as graceful as a swan, like a swimming dragon. She was like a light cloud covering the moon, and like the wind returning snow. It was a beautiful scene. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly felt that Heavenly Maiden Yuan seemed to want to say something to him, but she couldn't say it. In the end, she could only respond with a dance. Heavenly Maiden Yuan, what are you hiding? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Chapter 645. Under the starry sky, starlight sprinkled down. A young girl danced on the mountain peak, her dress fluttering, her figure gentle and beautiful. She wore a pair of white stockings, and her slender and sparkling legs drew a graceful arc in the air. Fairy Yuan was like a beautiful fairy, dancing under the starry sky. This dance was enough to topple the world. Even Jun Xiaoyao, who was used to seeing fairies, was dazed for a moment, but he quickly came back to his senses. He was not an ascetic monk. If Fairy Yuan was willing to dance for him, he was also willing to watch. Jun Xiaoyao also noticed it, although it was the same goddess Luo's graceful dance. But this time, when Fairy Yuan danced, it was obviously different from before. It carried the radiance of the great Tao. Many runes appeared in the void, mottled with colors. In contrast, Fairy Yuan really looked like the goddess Luomi Fei who came out of the water. Looks like it should be because she received Mi Fei's inheritance, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. After the dance, a rain of flowers fell from the void. That was the manifestation of the great Tao resonant. Young master, is it beautiful? Fairy Yuan tilted her head slightly and smiled. Yes, Jun Xiaoyao said truthfully. Hearing this, Fairy Yuan's heart was sweet as if she had eaten honey. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Fairy Yuan and suddenly said, "Who are you?" The smile on Fairy Yuan's face slowly faded. Her beautiful eyes were clear and calm. Suddenly, she smiled and said, "I'm a fish. Every time, I try my best to jump out of the water and become the goddess Luo who came out of the water, to control my own destiny. But in the end, I discovered that I'm still the fish that can't jump out of the river. In the end, I can only swim in the river of fate." After saying that, Fairy Yuan seemed to laugh at herself and said, "Look at me, what nonsense am I talking about?" She looked at Jun Xiaoyao with her beautiful eyes and suddenly approached Jun Xiaoyao, stuffing a jade pendant into his hand. "If young Master Jun wants me, just crush this jade pendant, and I'll come back to find you regardless of everything." Her eyes were watery as she looked at Jun Xiaoyao, as if she wanted to engrave his appearance in her heart. Then, Fairy Yuan turned to leave. "Wait!" Jun Xiaoyao said. Fairy Yuan's delicate body trembled slightly. She looked back, and there was a hint of palpitation in her eyes. "Later, I need your help to find out more about the 13 thieves with the help of the goddess mill," Jun Xiaoyao said. Fairy Maiden Yuan's eyes dimmed, and a trace of undetectable bitterness appeared at the corner of her mouth. Then she smiled and said, "I understand. I will definitely carry out your orders." Even though she knew that Jun Xiaoyao had only treated her as a cooperative partner even now, Fairy Yuan had no regrets, nor did she blame Jun Xiaoyao, because she had also made use of Jun Xiaoyao. However, how Fairy Yuan wished that she and Jun Xiaoyao weren't just using each other. Looking at Fairy Yuan's back as she left, Jun Xiaoyao put his hands behind his back and pondered. "A fish that can't swim out of the river of fate. Fairy Yuan, who is the one in charge of your fate?" Jun Xiaoyao murmured. Outside the heavenly underworld ancient star, in the starry sky. Fairy Yuan stood alone on the starry sky flying ship. She picked up a jade slip, and the jade slip flickered slightly, and a cold female voice came from it. "It seems that you have obtained the inheritance." "Yes, I have obtained the heavenly heart scripture of Empress Hua." Fairy Yuan's face became indifferent and expressionless. "Very good. My sacred body of Empress Hua can finally transform completely. When the time comes, the number of people on the entire ancient road who can fight with me will be less than 5. Although this female voice was like the sound of nature, it had a peerless spirit that was not inferior to a man's. She was like a supreme empress who ruled the heavens and the universe. Fairy Yuan remained expressionless as she listened to the woman's words. "However, that Jun Xiaoyao is indeed far beyond my expectations. Not only can he kill a half-step great saint, but he can even block 3 moves from a sacred lord. It seems that being cautious is the right thing to do." The woman's tone was grave. "You can't deal with him. Not only you, but even with Gu Tizi and the others. It's impossible," Fairy Yuan said coldly. The female voice in the jade slip was silent for a moment, then said, "Yuan, you know that you can't be tempted, because you are my clam person." Fairy Yuan clenched her jade-like hands and said coldly, "I've obtained the heavenly heart scripture of Empress Hua for you. What about the freedom I want? When you become the successor of the goddess mill, come back. I still need you." Besides, Gu Tizi's patience is limited. Fairy Yuan's delicate figure trembled violently when she heard this, and a wisp of ghastly white appeared on her peerlessly beautiful face. "No, impossible." Fairy Yuan's lips were as pale as paper. "Nothing is impossible. By the way, Gu Tizi has sent out the 4 heavenly kings. There's going to be a show to watch." After that, the woman's voice fell silent. Fairy Yuan's delicate body slumped to the ground, and she covered her face with her jade-like hands. Young Master Jun, her dance was peerless, but she could only dance in her sad fate. On the ancient underworld planet, Jun Xiaoyao was immersed in cultivation. For ordinary people, even if they obtained the Immortal Sutra, it would take a long time to comprehend it. However, Jun Xiaoyao's comprehension was monstrous to the extreme. For him, comprehending the Immortal Sutra would only take a little more time than cultivating the supreme great technique. In addition, Yen Rumring had also begun to refine the ancient blood. One could imagine that once her Sky Dream butterfly bloodline was completely awakened, her talent and strength would skyrocket. The Naga tribe had also begun to develop steadily, and their bloodline began to transform. The situation had stabilized for the time being. However, news about Jun Xiaoyao began to spread throughout the ancient road. He killed a half-step great sage and blocked 3 attacks from a sacred leader. Even for outlawed sky prides, this was extremely unbelievable. The Holy Orchid sects Xing Hongyi, the Holy Spirit Islands Emojinyu, and 4 of the 13 great bandits of the ancient road had all fallen at the hands of Jun Xiaoyao. These news were equally shocking. Unlike what was expected, the Holy Spirit Island and the Holy Orchid sect did not express any opinions and remained silent. Although it was difficult for immortal forces to intervene in the battle of the ancient road. However, one could imagine if Jun Xiaoyao was a dark horse sky pride without any background. Perhaps in a few days, news would spread that Jun Xiaoyao had been assassinated somewhere. It could only be said that the Jun family, the Jiang family, and the imperial court were 3 immortal forces that were extremely intimidating. Of course, news about Jun Xiaoyao was the only thing that spread throughout the ancient road. There were also news about other super-outlawed sky prides. For example, the Archean royalty's celestial silkworm Valley had produced a rare 9 transformations celestial silkworm. This celestial silkworm was known as the 9 transformations celestial silkworm and was invincible. There was also the Sun God Mountain's 10 princes of Jinwu, who was known to be invincible, who had obtained a boundary emperor weapon in a secret place. There were rumors that his next goal was to capture the Moon God Palace's maiden sage, Yu Chanwan, and obtain her Taiyin sacred constitution to cultivate the acquired chaotic constitution. Other than that, the supreme Xian Ting, Gu Tizi of the Fuxi immortal lineage, possessed the legendary supreme Fuxi sacred constitution and had even digested the inheritance of an ancient great emperor. There was also the supreme Xian Ting, the empress of Empress Wa's immortal lineage. She was also unfathomable and was known to be one of the strongest among the younger generation on the ancient road. Even the 4 minor heavenly kings of the Xian Ting were top-notch existences among the outlawed sky prides. Each of them could sweep through an entire ancient road and set a terrifying record of killing outlawed sky prides. Some people saw the 4 minor heavenly kings of the Xian Ting moving together as if to complete some mission. This shocked many sky prides. Who could make the 4 minor heavenly kings of the supreme Xian Ting move together? Chapter 646. Jun Xiaoyao's temporary closed-door cultivation did not cause the entire ancient road to fall into silence. Instead, it was the rise of various kings and shining stars. There was the invincible overlord of the heavenly tyrant body, the mysterious successor of the immortal sect, Xing Tianyi of the Gulan sect, the son of god of the Qin clan, Qin Wudao, and the killer of the Jin dynasty. Each of the super-outlawed sky prides carried glory and legends, attracting the attention of everyone. Everyone was curious about who would be the one to reach the end of the ancient road. Of course, apart from these sky prides, those who belonged to Jun Xiaoyao's side had also made a name for themselves. Jiang Shengyi, Jiang Luoli, and the others were already goddess-like figures whose names spread throughout the ancient road. Their beauty and strength were on par with each other, earning the respect and admiration of countless people. There were also sequences like Lord Grimm and Jun Lingsong. If it were not for Jun Xiaoyao, the most outstanding young people of the Jun clan would definitely be them. This was because every generation of the Jun clan sequence was extremely glorious, standing at the peak of their era. However, in this era there was an anomaly, and that was Jun Xiaoyao. His excellence and demonic talents surpassed all the previous Jun clan's sky prides. In the past, the appearance of someone as strong as Lord Grimm and Jun Lingsong was enough to suppress the Jun clan's fortune for 10,000 years. However, even these demonic talents seemed a little dim in front of Jun Xiaoyao's brilliance. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao's followers, Yu, Yan Qingying, Wang Chuan, and the others, had also made a name for themselves. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, a year had passed. During this year, Jun Xiaoyao had been in closed-door cultivation on the Tianming ancient star. While the metamorphosis was not a metamorphosis in terms of cultivation level, it was still extremely important to Jun Xiaoyao. It was related to the 10th strand of divine qi and his path. If he succeeded, Jun Xiaoyao's cultivation level would not increase, but his strength would definitely skyrocket. During this period of time, many geniuses of the Huangtian mystic realm had already surpassed him and walked ahead of him. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't in a hurry. To him, increasing his strength was much more important than rushing to complete the ancient road. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was in seclusion. Ancient Final Road, 50th checkpoint. Compared to the 108 checkpoints on the ancient road of ultimate destination, the 50th stage was already more than half a century old. It could be considered a watershed. Those who could make it this far were all dragons and phoenixes among men. The 50th stage of the ancient road was also an extremely special location. This stage was not just a life-ancient star but a vast sea of stars. Chaotic astral ocean. That was the name given to the sea of stars by the ancient roads chosen. As the name implied, this starry sea was filled with all kinds of danger and chaos. All sorts of people gathered there. But at the same time, it was also a place to stop in the middle of the ancient road of ultimate. All sorts of monsters were hiding there. Therefore, the chaotic astral ocean is also the most suitable place to hide. In an asteroid belt in the chaotic astral ocean, there was an incomparably majestic giant city located in it. The city was incomparably desolate and exuded an ancient aura. Starlight sprinkled down, and moonlight hung in the sky, making it look majestic and magnificent. This was a rather famous city in the chaotic astral ocean. There were incomplete ancient formation runes carved around it, so it was extremely safe. Even the star-devouring ancient beast couldn't swallow this city into its stomach. At this moment, in the city, a lively auction was being held in a bustling high-rise building. The chaotic astral ocean was the resting place in the middle of the ancient road of ultimate destination. Naturally, there were also some geniuses who would take out treasures and opportunities that they couldn't use to auction or exchange for other treasures. On the high platform, the auctioneer clapped his hands and said, "The next item to be auctioned is a batch of female slaves. All of them are top-notch goods." After saying that, a group of women with chains on their hands and feet stood up. They were of different shapes and sizes, and each had their own style. There were all kinds of races. However, they all had sorrowful expressions on their faces. Among them, there was a woman wearing an inconspicuous gray robe. Her appearance was ordinary, and her complexion was pale. She seemed to have suffered some sort of injury. There was nothing special about her. Her figure was also covered by the gray robe, making her look inconspicuous. "I'll take this one. I'll take that one." Soon, some of the beautiful female slaves on the stage were auctioned off. Only a few, including the gray-robed woman, remained. No one wanted them. Sigh. The auctioneer sighed softly when he saw this. These female slaves were not even worth auctioning off. They even had to feed them for free. "I'll just drive them away later and let them fend for themselves," the old man thought to himself. "All right, you all can leave." The old man waved his hand. Right at this moment, an indifferent voice sounded. "I'll take that woman." 4 black-robed men walked out from the crowd. Their gazes were all fixed on the gray-robed woman. This. The old man was also surprised. The gray-robed woman was picked up by the people of their Chamber of Commerce several months ago. At that time, she was injured. However, because her appearance was ordinary, no one did anything to her. They only wanted to auction her off as an item. However, it was impossible for anyone to take a fancy to her. They did not expect that someone would take a fancy to her this time. In the next moment, the 4 black-robed men suddenly took off their robes. Suddenly, a dazzling golden light shone in all directions like the sun, blinding everyone's eyes. The 4 of them were all wearing dazzling golden armor. They had golden wings on their backs that were surrounded by flames. They are the Sun God Mountain's Golden Crow celestial guards. Some of the more knowledgeable geniuses could not help but exclaim. One of the Golden Crow celestial guards looked at the gray-robed woman, whose expression had changed, and sneered. I didn't expect that the saintess of the moon god palace of the mystic heaven's celestial realm would hide in the chaotic astral ocean and disguise herself as a slave. This is really unexpected. His words immediately made all the geniuses present feel suffocated. The auctioneer was even more dumbfounded. He was stunned on the spot. Whoosh! The gray-robed woman suddenly turned around and took off her robes. Runes flickered on her face as she peeled off a piece of skin. In an instant, a breathtakingly beautiful face appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The woman in front of them had curved eyebrows, clear eyes, a tall nose, and moist red lips. Her skin was smooth and her bones were like jade. It was as if she was a piece of beautiful jade made by nature. The woman's appearance was not the only thing that attracted everyone's attention. Her figure was also eye-catching. The gray-robed woman had previously covered her figure, but now it was exposed. Her blue dress outlined her impressive curve. Her breasts were full, and her waist was slender and round. Further down, her perky buttocks had a soul-stirring curve. All the male beasts present could not help but swallow their saliva. Their mouths were dry. She was clearly as beautiful as a fairy from the Moon Palace, but she had such an alluring pear-shaped figure. She was thin where she should be, and there was meat where she should be. Such a beautiful face paired with such a seductive figure was simply too attractive. Upon hearing the Golden Crow celestial guard's words, all the male beasts' eyes were filled with passion. She's the saintess of the Moon God Palace, Yu Chanwan, who has the world's best cauldron body? Chapter 647. The Great Moon Body was ranked in the top 50 among the 3,000 body type. Not only was she extremely talented, but she could also absorb the power of the moon. More importantly, this type of body type was extremely beneficial for dual cultivation. Dual cultivation with the Great Moon Body would definitely increase one's cultivation by leaps and bounds, and one wouldn't suffer from kidney deficiency. This was because one would be nourished by the essence of the moon. What made the men even crazier was that women with this type of body type had certain parts that were different from other women's and were extremely rare. Of course, the Great Moon Body was also extremely rare, and there might not even be one or two in a deity realm. It was a treasure that all men dreamed of. At this moment, no one would have thought that the saintess of the moon god's palace would disguise herself as an ordinary female slave. Attack together. We must capture her this time and give her to the 10th prince. The 4 Golden Crow celestial guards attack together and unleash the power of a late-stage saint. The Golden Crow celestial guards were an extremely elite troop from the Sun God Mountain. There weren't many of them, but each one of them was extremely well trained. It was rare for 4 Golden Crow celestial guards to attack together to capture a young prodigy. It could only be said that to the 10 princes of Jinwu, Yu Chanwan was something that they had to capture. Sun God Mountain, you've gone too far. Yu Chanwan's face was fierce as she activated her body and unleashed the power of a late-stage saint. As she waved her hand, it was as if a full moon had appeared, carrying with it the light of the moon and the power of the moon. The 4 Golden Crow celestial guards attacked at the same time like 4 blazing suns. Boom! Shock waves exploded throughout the entire area, and many prodigies were pushed back. Cough! Yu Chanwan let out a muffled groan as she took advantage of the momentum to retreat. She had been pursued all this time, and her injuries hadn't healed yet. It was impossible for her to kill the 4 Golden Crow celestial guards. Seeing Yu Chanwan flee, the 4 Golden Crow celestial guards flapped their wings and turned into 4 streaks of golden light as they chased after her. Seeing Yu Chanwan and the Golden Crow celestial guards leave in an instant, the prodigies in the auction house were dumbfounded. How is this possible? She's actually the Holy Maiden of the Moon God Palace and possesses the holy body of Great Moon. The auctioneer was dumbfounded. As he watched Yuchanwan leave, he felt as if a mountain of gold was leaving him. No, the holy body of Tyene was a priceless treasure for men. It could not be measured by money. Many of the geniuses were pounding their chests and stamping their feet in regret. If I had known, I would have bid for her. That's right. Even if I can't really get close to her, I can at least say that the holy body of Tyene was once my female slave. The #1 furnace in the world, the existence that all men dream of, actually slipped away right in front of my eyes. The old perverts at the scene regretted it so much that their intestines were green. A streak of light quickly flew out of the city and into the starry sky. Behind him, 4 golden streams of light chased after him. Yuchanwan, the moon god palace behind you is almost destroyed. You can escape now, but you can't escape forever. Why don't you submit to the 10th prince? A golden crow celestial guard shouted. That's right. What's wrong with the 10th prince? He also has the holy body of Tyene. He's a match made in heaven with you. If you dual cultivate with the 10th prince, you may also obtain part of the chaotic body's power, another golden crow celestial guard shouted. Even if Chanwan kills herself or feeds her body to the dogs, I will not let the 10th prince have his way. Yu Chanjwan's beautiful eyes were filled with hatred. She knew how attractive her body was to men. However, she had never thought that her body would bring disaster to the entire moon god palace. When she thought about how her master had chosen to self-destruct in order to cover the retreat, her heart was filled with guilt and hatred. All the tragedies originated from the 10th princes of Jinwu. A peerlessly talented, lawless person who could do whatever he wanted in the mystic heaven immortal realm. How stubborn. If that's the case, we can only take you back by force. The 4 golden crow celestial guards snorted. In their opinion, it should be an extremely honorable thing to have the 10th prince's favor. Whoosh! One of the golden crow celestial guards took out an ancient weapon. It was a giant golden net made of golden silk. When it was cast, it sealed off the area. Yu Chanjwan's expression changed when she saw this. Suddenly, a palm print came from afar and blasted the giant golden net away. Who is it? The golden crow celestial guard shouted coldly, his eyes flashing coldly. In the distance, 2 otherworldly figures exuding a mysterious aura were flying toward them from the air. Oh, how lucky! I didn't expect to meet the 10th prince's dream girl. These 2 were young masters. One was dressed in a black robe, while the other was dressed in a white robe. The 4 golden crow celestial guards looked solemn when they sensed their auras. There was no doubt that these 2 were outlawed sky prides. Yu Chanjwan's eyes showed a hint of joy. Things seemed to have taken a turn for the better. Who are you? One of the golden crow celestial guards asked solemnly. He, Xingyu Yi and Xingzhou Yi of the Gulan sect. Haven't you heard of them? Xingzhou Yi smiled faintly. What? They're the 2 saints of the Gulan sect. The 4 golden crow celestial guards' faces changed. There were 8 saints of the 8 sects. They were ranked according to heaven, earth, black, yellow, universe, and chaos. Sheng Huangyi, the saint of the Huangtian immortal realm sect, had fallen. Xing Hongyi was also killed by Jun Xiaoyao outside the Temple of Doom. There were 6 saints left in the Gulan sect. Although Xingyu Yi and Xingzhou Yi were not as powerful as Xing Tianyi, who was ranked first among the 8 saints of the Gulan sect, they were still outlawed sky prides. Gentlemen, this woman is wanted by the 10 princes of Jinwu. We hope that the 2 saints will not interfere. One of the golden crow celestial guards cupped his fists and said, if anyone else dared to interfere, they would have killed them. However, the Gulan sect was too powerful. These 2 saints were not people that the 4 of them could deal with. Hee. Xingyu Yi did not care about the 4 golden crow celestial guards. The sun god mountain was powerful, but the Gulan sect was not to be trifled with. The 10 princes of the golden crow celestial guards were powerful enough to intimidate the ancient road. However, the saints of the 8 sects were not weak either. Therefore, they did not have to worry about the Golden Crow Celestial Guard. "Chanwan, thank you for your help, young masters," Yu Chanwan said. "Don't thank me yet. Yu Chanwan, I can save you if you want, but there's no such thing as a free lunch in this world, right?" As Xingyu Yi spoke, his gaze swept up and down Yu Chanwan's curvaceous body. Her breasts were perky, her waist was slender, and her butt was perky. No one else had such a figure. As expected of the legendary Great Moon Constitution, the #1 cauldron constitution in the world. Xingyu Yi's eyes flashed with a hint of passion. Yu Chanwan felt a chill in her heart when she sensed the two saints' gazes. Men were indeed jackals of the same tribe. "We need the Great Moon Constitution to break through. As long as you are willing, we will save you. How about it?" Xingyu Yi said with a smile. "Gentlemen, isn't this a little inappropriate?" The Golden Crow Celestial Guard's eyes darkened. Yu Chanwan was the woman the 10 princes of Jinwu wanted. These two saints were snatching food from a tiger's mouth. Xingyu Yi ignored the Golden Crow Celestial Guards and looked at Yu Chanwan. "What do you say?" Yu Chanwan's eyes were as cold as ice. These two saints were taking advantage of her and forcing her to give up her body. How different were they from the 10 princes of Jinwu? "No need," Yu Chanwan said coldly. The smiles on the two chosen's faces slowly faded away. The 4 Golden Crow Celestial Guards looked at each other and charged toward Yu Chanwan at the same time. Just as Yu Chanwan was about to fight to the death, swoosh, 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 9 arrows pierced through space and shattered planets as they shot toward the 4 Golden Crow Celestial Guards. "Everyone from Sun God Mountain must die." An icy voice that sounded like the voice of a vengeful demon echoed in the galaxy. Chapter 648. Who is it? The expressions of the 4 Golden Crow Celestial Guards changed. 2 sacred princes of the ancient Orchid cult had just interfered, and now something else had happened. Did the heavens not want them to capture Yu Chanwan? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The arrows carried boundless power as they pierced through the void. Each arrow could easily kill a saint. The eyes of the 4 Golden Crow Heavenly Guards suddenly widened when they saw the archery technique. There was a hint of astonishment in their eyes. This is the E-Race's divine power, 9-star alignment. The reason they could recognize this arrow art immediately was because of this. The Golden Crow Celestial Guards had been sent out when Sun God Mountain started the War of Immortality against the E-Race. They had a deep impression of the E-Race's godlike arrow art. This 9-star alignment was the E-Clan's signature archery divine ability. The Emperor of the E-Race had used this move to shoot down 9 golden crows in the sky. Because of this, Sun God Mountain and the E-Race had a blood feud. The E-Race had weakened during the ancient era, and they had even lost the Ho-E Bao. This gave Sun God Mountain a chance to start the War of Immortality and destroy the E-Race. Only a small number of E-Race members were left behind, and they fled like dogs. The 4 Golden Crow Celestial Guards didn't expect to meet the E-Race on the ancient road. This was too unbelievable. Of course, even though they were thinking about it, they still did their best to block the attack. However, whoosh. Arrows pierced through the chests of the Golden Crow Celestial Guards. That terrifying shooting power could simply shoot down the sun, moon, and stars. How is this possible? How can the E-Race have such a strong member? One of the Golden Crow Celestial Guards spat out blood in disbelief. Most of the E-Race's experts and prodigies with strong bloodlines should have been killed in that War of Immortality. The few that escaped wouldn't have been able to do anything. The heavens let me live so that I can witness the destruction of Sun God Mountain. Following the cold voice, a young man holding the Star Execution Bow of Destruction walked over with a murderous aura. His black hair fluttered in the wind, and a golden sun totem was branded on his upper body. His eyes glowed with a golden light. It was the golden eyes of delusion. They were as sharp as an eagle's and could see through all illusions. This was Jun Xiaoyao's follower, the successor of the ancient monarch clan, the E-clan Iyu. You're the successor of the E-clan. You're actually still alive? The minds of the 4 Golden Crow celestial guards buzzed when they saw Iyu. Before starting the undying war against the E-race, they had already received orders. That successor of the E-clan must be killed. Because he had the strongest bloodline of Yi-Shin. Yi-Shin, same as Luo Shun and Mi Fei, was a super forbidden being at the level of legendary emperors. Needless to say, a genius with a thick bloodline of the mythological monarch was incredibly talented. If they did not eliminate the source of trouble, there would be no end of trouble. However, they didn't expect that the upper echelons of the E-clan were frantically protecting EU and the others as they fled. In the end, after an unknown period of time, the Sun God Mountain thought that this descendant of the E-clan had completely fallen. Who would have thought that he would appear alive in front of them now? How could I be willing to die as long as the Sun God Mountain is not destroyed? Fortunately, I've encountered the most important turning point in my life. EU looked at the 4 Golden Crows with a cold gaze. The turning point he was referring to was naturally becoming Jun Xiaoyao's follower. Only Jun Xiaoyao had the ability to completely destroy the Sun God Mountain. Now I'll collect some interest. EU drew his bow again and shot an arrow. The 4 late-stage Golden Crows did not have much power to resist and were shot to death amidst screams. That person is also an outlawed Sky Pride. Xingyu Yi and Xingzhou Yi frowned. They did not expect the situation to change like this. The reason why EU had become so powerful was that his Yi-Shun bloodline had begun to awaken. On the other hand, it was also because Jun Xiaoyao had given him enough seals of proving of the way, which allowed his powers to transform. On top of that, EU had also found many opportunities on the ultimate ancient road. This allowed his strength to reach the level of an outlawed Sky Pride. You're still alive? Yu Chanwan looked at EU with a hint of surprise in her beautiful eyes. The E-clan and the Moon God Palace were both forces in the mystic heaven immortal realm. She and EU were the most outstanding young people in their respective forces. She had seen EU a few times at some Sky Pride banquets, but they did not have much interaction. When the E-clan was destroyed, Yu Chanwan sighed. Who would have thought that it would be the Moon God Palace's turn later? It could only be said that fate made fools of people. Looks like the Moon God Palace is following in their footsteps. EU glanced at Yu Chanwan without much emotion in his eyes. Yu Chanwan was indeed very beautiful and very attractive to men. However, EU only had 2 goals in mind now: to take revenge on the Sun God Mountain and to work hard to keep up with Jun Xiaoyao's footstep. If I knew this would happen, the Moon God Palace would have joined forces with the E-clan. Sigh. Yu Chanwan sighed softly. EU's arrival made her feel a little more at ease. Although they did not have much interaction, they had at least met a few times. EU's character was well known in the mystic heaven immortal realm. At this time, a discordant voice sounded. Who are you? Why are you meddling in our business? The person who spoke was Xingyu Yi. I'm just killing people who deserve to be killed. EU did not bother to talk to them. EU, let's go first. Yu Chanwan gave him a look and whispered. Wait, Yu Chanwan, we helped you once before. You can't just leave like this, right? Xingyu Yi's eyes revealed a playful look. EU also came back to his senses and understood. After all, Yu Chanwan was the #1 beauty in the mystic heaven immortal realm and had a peerless furnace physique. There was probably no man who did not want to covet her body. Of course, there was no man who could make Yu Chanwan willingly give her body. Let's go, EU said straightforwardly. Impudent, we are talking to the fairy. How dare you interrupt? Xingyu Yi made a move. Terrifying spiritual power surged and turned into a giant hand that covered the sky. How could he let the fatty meat that was about to be eaten slip away? The giant hand that covered the sky stretched out as if it included the stars in the universe. After all, Xingyu Yi was one of the 8 holy sons of the ancient Orchid sect. His means were extraordinary. Yu turned around and drew his bow. The arrow roared out like a real dragon, shaking the starry sky. Xingyu Yi also made a move. He wanted to suppress Yu in the shortest time possible and snatch Yu Chanwan away. Damn it, if I wasn't seriously injured. Yu Chanwan clenched her jade-like hands. As the sacred body of Taine, her strength was not weak. It was just that being chased all the way had exhausted her mental strength and caused her to be seriously injured. Rumble. In the starry sky, a great battle broke out. Yu fought against two enemies alone and managed to hold on for a short time. This made Xingyu Yi and Xingyu Yi a little surprised. Where did this monster come from? I have never heard of him before. The two holy sons were suspicious. Yu's eyes flashed. He also understood. Although he was not weak, it was a little difficult to kill the two holy sons of the ancient Orchid sect. Thinking of this, Yu took out a talisman. The talisman burned in the void and turned into a strong force of space, blessing Yu and Yu Chanwan. The void behind them distorted, and in an instant, the two of them disappeared without a trace. Damn it, he actually has such a treasure. Xingyu Yi's face was extremely ugly. Xingyu Yi's face was also gloomy. A fat little white sheep escaped just like that. It's okay. As long as the 10 princes of Jinwu are still chasing them, they will eventually reveal themselves. When that time comes, we will act according to the situation, Xingyu Yi said. We must get this woman. If we don't get a taste of this weapon, I will not be satisfied. Xingyu Yi was unwilling to give up. Chapter 649. Chaotic Astral Ocean, somewhere in the unknown starry sky. 2 space vortexes appeared, and Yu and Yu Chanwan emerged from them. Gulen sect, I will remember this. Yu's golden eyes flashed with a cold light. Thank you, Yu Chanwan said. Without Yu's help, she would have either been captured by the Golden Crow Celestial Guards and presented to the 10th Prince or humiliated by the 2 saints. She couldn't accept either outcome. It's okay. We have a common enemy, Yu said. Sun God Mountain? Now that the forces behind us are almost destroyed, I don't know if we will have the chance to take revenge. Yu Chanwan's beautiful eyes showed a touch of sadness. As an overlord force in the Xiantian celestial realm, the Sun God Mountain's foundation and power were unquestionable. Otherwise, the 10 princes of Jinwu wouldn't be so domineering. Now that the Yi clan and the Moon God Palace were almost destroyed, only a few people were left outside, and they couldn't do much. It was almost wishful thinking to deal with the Sun God Mountain. Maybe not. If my master is willing, it doesn't seem to be too difficult to destroy the Sun God Mountain. Yu's eyes flashed. What? Yu Chanwan's beautiful face showed a touch of surprise. Yu was once a top genius in the Xiantian celestial realm, the successor of the Emperor clan. His character was also famous for being cold and unruly. Now, he had submitted to someone and become a follower? To Yu Chanwan, this was simply unbelievable. In addition, Yu said that his master wouldn't need to spend too much effort to destroy the Sun God Mountain. This was simply bragging without a draft. The Sun God Mountain was so powerful that even Yu's master, the successor of an immortal force, was not qualified to say such words. Furthermore, whether or not the master behind him could defeat the Golden Crow 10th Prince was another matter. What, do you think I'm bragging? Seeing Yu Chanwan's expression, Yu raised his eyebrows and asked. No, Yu Chanwan said. No matter what, Yu was her savior. She had no room to question. She wanted to ask who was the master behind Yu, but she was afraid that if her lie was exposed, Yu would be embarrassed. Therefore, Yu Chanwan didn't ask anything. I don't know if his master can deal with the 10 princes of Jinwu. As for destroying the Sun God Mountain, Yu Chanwan sighed inwardly. Right, what do you plan to do next? Yu asked. Naturally, I have to recover from my injuries and become stronger. Yu Chanwan's beautiful eyes revealed a resolute expression. She was also a woman with a resolute character. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to resist the 10 princes of Jinwu for so long. Oh, that's right. I heard the people in the auction house say that the boat of good fortune seemed to have appeared in the chaotic astral ocean. There are all kinds of sacred medicines, ancient inheritances, natural oddities, and even a complete source of a small world. If we can enter it, our strength will undergo a transformation, said Yu Chanwan. The boat of destiny? Sure, wait until I become stronger. I won't let any of the 10 princes of the Golden Crow go. Iyushi God's eyes were filled with hatred. His revenge against the Sun God Mountain would begin with the 10 princes of the Golden Crow. After that, Yu Chanwan also took out a jade slip to send a message. With EU by her side, her situation was temporarily stabilized. She could also send a message to the Tying Jade Hair. However, the message from the Tying Jade Hair made Yu Chanwan slightly stunned. What? There will be a super powerful person coming to save me? Yu Chanwan was very confused. She even felt that the Tying Jade Hair might have been abducted by some glib-tongued swindler. Forget it. Yu Chanwan didn't dwell on it. After that, Yu Chanwan and EU hid in the chaotic astral ocean and waited for the boat of destiny to appear. Fortunately, the chaotic astral ocean was vast and there were all kinds of people. If the 10 princes of Jinwu wanted to search for them, it would take a long time. Heavenly Underworld Ancient Star. In the past year, the Serpent Men tribe had undergone a great change. Saints and Supreme Saints popped up one after another like bamboo shoots after a rain. Even a few Saint Sovereigns had appeared. All of this was due to the ancient blood. Queen Medusa had also successfully broken through to the quasi-supreme realm. It wasn't that it was easy to break through to the quasi-supreme realm. It was that Queen Medusa had accumulated a lot of energy. Previously, due to the limitations of her bloodline, she had been stuck at the Sacred Lord realm. Now that she had obtained the ancient blood, she had also successfully broken through to the quasi-supreme realm. Moreover, this wasn't her limit. It could be said that the strength of the entire Serpent Men tribe had increased by more than 10 times compared to before. All of this was brought to them by Jun Xiaoyao. Now, every Serpent Man tribe member only had fanatical worship and gratitude for Jun Xiaoyao. Even if Jun Xiaoyao wanted them to die, they wouldn't hesitate. Master, all of this is your gift. Queen Medusa muttered to herself as she looked at the palace where Jun Xiaoyao was in seclusion. Her long and narrow beautiful eyes revealed respect, worship, gratitude, and a faint trace of admiration and love. Queen Medusa knew that she wasn't worthy of Jun Xiaoyao. But as long as she could serve Jun Xiaoyao forever and be loyal to him, she would be satisfied. And at this moment, the palace where Jun Xiaoyao was in seclusion suddenly trembled. A terrifying aura swept across the place. This pressure wasn't the pressure of a cultivation realm. Instead, it was an incomparably noble pressure that seemed to have transcended the level of life. Is Master coming out of seclusion? Queen Medusa's eyes revealed a look of surprise. This pressure caused the entire Serpent Men tribe to be in an uproar. Countless Serpent Men looked at the palace where Jun Xiaoyao was in shock and admiration. A dense immortal qi spread out. Flowers fell from the sky, golden lotuses bloomed on the ground, and great Tao runes intertwined. Although it wasn't a breakthrough in cultivation realm, it gave people the feeling that the scene was even greater than breaking through to the supremacy realm. Is this really our benefactor cultivating? Why do I feel like a supremacy is coming out of seclusion? An elder of the Serpent Men tribe sighed. At this moment, in the palace, Jun Xiaoyao, who had been silent for more than a year, finally opened his deep eyes. A misty immortal qi appeared on the surface of his body. This immortal qi was misty, and it seemed to contain the universe, stars, mountains, rivers, grass, flowers, birds, insects, and fish. Countless scenes appeared. It carried great Tao runes, and the power of creation surged. Jun Xiaoyao had broken through the limit of 9 and condensed the 10th immortal qi. Creation immortal qi. With the Creation Immortal Sutra, he comprehended the Tao of creation and condensed creation immortal Qi. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao felt as if he could shape the universe and change it with a single hand. If news of the 10th immortal Qi spread, the entire ancient road would be in an uproar. Jun Xiaoyao, as an outlier, had once again created an unprecedented miracle. Chapter 650. 10 strands of immortal Qi was enough to stun everyone. Even outlawed sky prides and super-outlawed sky prides could not reach this level. Even some young great emperors and young ancient emperors could not reach this level. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was able to do so with ease. 10 strands of immortal Qi, huh? Why do I feel like it's not enough? Jun Xiaoyao said softly. To him, there was no such thing as a limit. If he wanted to continue condensing, he could continue to do so. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao had not only condensed the immortal Qi of creation in the past year or so. Most importantly, the divine origin in his dantian had undergone a metamorphosis. Looking inside at the moment, one could see that the interior of Jun Xiaoyao's God's origin had expanded from a chaotic state into an empty miniature universe. The universe was empty. There was nothing in it. However, the power of the natural order was operating. It was not the natural order of the 9 heavens immortal realm, nor was it the natural order of any other world. It was Jun Xiaoyao's own natural order. He could control everything in the miniature universe with a single thought. Of course, there was nothing in the miniature universe at the moment. It was empty. Without the immortal scripture of creation, it would take me a lot of time to condense this miniature universe, Jun Xiaoyao said to himself. The immortal scripture of creation allowed Jun Xiaoyao to comprehend the power of creation. It allowed him to create his own inner universe in just over a year. Then, Jun Xiaoyao's heart moved. The jade disk of creation directly entered the inner universe. Jun Xiaoyao was immediately able to sense that the inner universe, which had been rather unstable, had stabilized. The jade disk of creation was like a stabilizing needle that stabilized the entire inner universe. Only supremes and above can start to create a spatial world. However, they can only do so with the help of the natural order of the immortal realm. Right now, this inner verse completely belongs to me, Jun Xiaoyao. My will is everything in this inner verse, Jun Xiaoyao said as he came to a realization. Of course, this inner universe was still relatively simple. There was not even a sun, moon, or stars, let alone living beings. It was completely empty. According to the records in the immortal scripture of creation, the world is composed of the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. I need to find the 4 extraordinary items to create the framework of the inner universe, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. The 4 extraordinary items referred to the extraordinary items of the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. The living soil of the 9 heavens, rootless water, indestructible divine fire, and wind of the Taishu. These 4 mystical items would be extremely rare in the Huangtian mystic realm. However, there was no lack of opportunities on the ultimate ancient road. As such, Jun Xiaoyao was able to collect them with ease. Once the framework to him, he could continue to nourish it Qi of creation. Jun Xiaoyao's strength was to God. Of the creation. If others were to find out that Jun Xiaoyao was able to create his own inner universe when he was still a saint, their jaws would definitely drop. Supremes to supremes and to the supremes. However, what Jun Xiaoyao wanted to create was a real universe. Although my cultivation did not improve from the origin of God to the inner universe, my strength is several times stronger than before, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. He was measuring his strength. A casual attack could trigger the power of the rules of the inner universe and unleash a terrifying power. It was Jun Xiaoyao's Tao. It was still incomparable to the heavenly Tao of the 9 heavens, immortal realm, or the foreign realm. However, he was confident that his will would be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the heavens in the future, surpassing the heavens. Jun Xiaoyao's body shuddered. It felt like the power of the world was flowing out of his body. It was the second volume of the physique scripture, the 3000 Sumer worlds. Jun Xiaoyao refined the chaos origin crystal, the qi of creation, and other energies. He also used the Tao of creation he had comprehended from the immortal scripture of creation. He had successfully turned a cell in his body into a miniature Sumeru world. That being said, the miniature Sumer world and Jun Xiaoyao's inner universe were two different concepts. Jun Xiaoyao pondered for a moment before using his finger as a sword all of a sudden and pointing it at his chest. A terrifying force penetrated Jun Xiaoyao's body. Jun Xiaoyao's body shuddered as he unleashed the power of the Sumeru world. The force penetrated the Sumeru world and shook it vigorously. However, it was unable to break free from the Sumeru world. Jun Xiaoyao exclaimed, "What a formidable defense! You've only managed to cultivate one Sumeru world. If you were to cultivate 3000 Sumer worlds, then even if I were to just stand there and let others attack me, it would probably take me days and nights to break through." The 3000 Sumer worlds did not only have strong defense. Jun Xiaoyao threw a punch forward. The power of a Sumeru world was imbued into his fist. In an instant, the void distorted and then collapsed. It was as if the power of the entire world had surged out, combining attack and defense into one. It seems that in the future, besides finding ways to expand the inner universe, I'll have to refine 3000 Sumer world. Jun Xiaoyao thought about his future cultivation direction. During this closed-door training, Jun Xiaoyao had comprehended the power of creation. He had refined the immortal qi of creation, opened up the inner universe, and even cultivated a Sumeru world. It could be said that he had achieved great success. His strength had also skyrocketed once again. It's time to leave. The real exciting part of the ancient ultimate road has yet to come. Jun Xiaoyao stood up and left the palace. Outside, Queen Medusa, Bai Ling, and the others were already waiting respectfully. The Tying Jade Hair was also waiting outside the palace. Her eyes were filled with excitement and anxiety. After a while, Jun Xiaoyao pushed open the door and walked out. Immortal light overflowed in all directions. Jun Xiaoyao leisurely stepped out like a celestial figure from a painting. Her graceful bearing caused everyone present to hold their breaths. Queen Medusa's beautiful eyes were filled with deep respect and admiration. Bai Ling and the Tying Jade Hair were also stunned. They were drooling. Jun Xiaoyao was as handsome as ever, but his aura was even more profound. He had an otherworldly immortal aura. It was as if he was about to ascend. It seems that the Naga tribe has developed well in the past year. Jun Xiaoyao glanced indifferently. Queen Medusa had reached the quasi-supreme level. The Green Snake General had also reached the Holy Lord level. There were also more than 10 Holy Lords and Great Sages. The Naga tribe was more than 10 times stronger than before. It's all thanks to Master. Without Master, the Naga tribe wouldn't be here today. Queen Medusa hurriedly went forward and bowed. Although she was already a quasi-supreme, she was still respectful and humble to Jun Xiaoyao like a servant. There's no need to be so polite. From now on, you'll all be part of the Emperor Royal Court. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand. On the side, the Tying Jade Hair bounced and said, young master, you haven't touched me for more than a year. I'm so bored and lonely." "Ha!" Jun Xiaoyao patted the Tying Jade Hair's head. "By the way, young master, young mistress finally sent a message. She's in the chaotic astral ocean." The Tying Jade Hair looked excited and anxious. "Got it." Jun Xiaoyao nodded. "Also, Sister Fairy Yuan sent a message saying that the 13 bandits seem to have a secret stronghold hidden in the chaotic astral ocean," the Tying Jade Hair continued. "It's convenient to get them all together. Let's deal with them together." Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. Next, he was ready to go to the chaotic astral ocean. Although Jun Xiaoyao didn't have any thoughts about the Cauldron Constitution, He was indeed a little interested in the Tying Immortal Sutra. At this moment, a powerful fluctuation suddenly spread out from a palace in the distance. The crowd turned their gazes over and immediately saw an incomparably enormous, translucent butterfly floating above the palace. The butterfly's wings were 9-colored and looked beautiful with a mysterious and dreamy feeling. It seems that Yen Ruming has also succeeded in awakening, Jun Xiaoyao said. Chapter 651. Yen Ruming's true form was the sky dream bewitching butterfly. Along with the cracked demonic butterfly and the immemorial emperor butterfly, it was one of the most ancient and noble lineages of the demon race. Before, Yen Ruming hadn't awakened her bloodline, so she didn't manifest the sky dream bewitching butterfly's ability. But now, Yen Ruming, who had the support of the ancient blood, had finally awakened her bloodline completely. The 9-colored sky dream bewitching butterfly floating in the void flapped its wings, and rainbow-colored pollen flowed out. Wherever it passed, the ordinary serpent men were unable to resist and fainted on the ground. Even the saint-level elders of the serpent men tribe fell into a dream and couldn't extricate themselves. In fact, even great saints and sacred leaders were affected by it. The green serpent general also seemed to have fallen into a dream. Such strong power, this is the path of illusion? Queen Medusa's eyes were filled with shock. That was because she discovered that even with her cultivation as a quasi-supreme, she was actually faintly falling into some sort of dream. The tiny jade hair was even more unbearable, and a silly smile appeared on her white and delicate face. Carrots, so many carrots, all carrot. Have I come to a carrot planet? The tiny jade hair laughed foolishly, and nibbled on her little hand as if she was nibbling on a carrot. The only person who wasn't affected at all was Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was extremely powerful, and he cultivated the chaotic divine grindstone visualization method and the 3 Lives Immortal Sutra. His primordial spirit was also the best of the 3 Lives primordial spirit. This path of illusion couldn't affect him. As expected of the sky dream bewitching butterfly. It's rumored that when a mature sky dream bewitching butterfly flaps its wings, all living beings on an ancient life planet will fall into a dream and be unable to extricate themselves. Jun Xiaoyao also showed a hint of admiration. In just a moment, the sky dream bewitching butterfly in the air disappeared. All the serpent men who had fallen into a dream also regained their senses, and their eyes were filled with confusion. What's going on? I feel like I had a very long dream, it feels like 100 years have passed. The tiny jade hair also came back to her senses and cried out in pain, ouch, my hand. In her dream, the tiny jade hair nibbled on her snow-white hands like carrots until they were red and swollen. In the distance, the palace door was pushed open. A beautiful woman with a graceful body and a flawless face appeared. Her pink dress fluttered in the wind, and her fine black hair cascaded down like a waterfall. Her skin was as smooth as snow, and her legs were long and slender. Perhaps it was because she had completely awakened her bloodline, but Yen Ruming had an even more dreamy and ethereal temperament. She looked like a fairy from a dream, beautiful and moving. Yen Ruming swayed her slender waist and walked in front of Jun Xiaoyao. Immortal qi vaguely appeared on the surface of her body. This was the immortal qi condensed from the Tao of illusions. What's wrong? I'm so beautiful that you're stunned? Yen Ruming smiled and waved her lily-white hand in front of Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. After awakening her bloodline, she was even more beautiful than before. Her red lips and jade-like teeth shone with a crystalline luster, and her slender neck made her look like a flower. At this moment, her smile could topple cities, and she was full of charm. She thought that Jun Xiaoyao would pour cold water on her as usual. However, Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and said, "You are indeed very beautiful." This made Yen Ruming blush suddenly appear on her jade-like cheek. I was careless. I actually felt like I was being seduced. Yen Ruming bit her lips, and her eyes were watery. However, what surprised her was that she originally thought that after awakening her Skydream butterfly bloodline, the gap between her and Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't be too big. However, at this moment, Jun Xiaoyao was enveloped in immortal light, and his aura was even more profound and unfathomable. What a monster! No matter how much I cultivate, I can't catch up to you. Yan Rumeng was a little annoyed. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly and changed the topic. By the way, didn't you say that if I help you awaken your bloodline, you will join the Emperor Hall? Isn't it time to fulfill your promise now? Previously, although Yan Rumeng had the demon emperor body, Jun Xiaoyao wasn't too interested in her. However, the current Yan Rumeng was different. She was qualified to be roped in by him. When Yan Rumeng heard that, she smiled sweetly and said, "Sure, but I want to work under you." "No, under you." "Okay, as long as you can keep up with my rhythm," Jun Xiaoyao said. "I should be able to keep up. As long as your rhythm is not too fierce and unbearable, it will be fine," Yan Rumeng said weakly. At the side, the tiny jade hair blinked her big red eyes. "I am still a child. I don't understand anything." After Jun Xiaoyao and Yan Rumeng successfully broke through, they were ready to leave. After learning that Jun Xiaoyao was going to leave, all of the serpent men were reluctant to part with him. Queen Medusa and Bai Ling were even more upset and lost. "You all stay in the Tianming Ancient Star. After I finish the Ancient Ultimate Road, I will send someone to transfer you to the Huangtian Mystic Realm to join the Emperor Hall," Jun Xiaoyao said. "Thank you, Master. We, the Naga tribe, will never forget your kindness," Queen Medusa said. Her long and narrow beautiful eyes also revealed a hint of reluctance. In the past, Queen Medusa thought that she would probably dedicate her life to the Naga tribe. She had never even thought about personal relationships. Queen Medusa also didn't think that any opposite sex would make her heart flutter. But now, looking at the handsome and immortal-like Jun Xiaoyao in front of her, she couldn't help but feel moved. She admitted that her heart fluttered. But Queen Medusa also knew that it was enough for her to be Jun Xiaoyao's subordinate. In the future, she would not only dedicate her life to the Naga tribe, but also to Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, tiny jade hair, and Yan Rumeng left. They drove the starry sky flying ship and traveled through the void. Along the way, they encountered teleportation formations on some ancient stars. This greatly reduced the amount of time they had to travel. Soon, more than half a year had passed. Jun Xiaoyao and the others didn't encounter any danger along the way. Even Yan Rumeng was a little speechless. Previously, when she was alone on the ancient ultimate road, she was cautious and careful. She often encountered danger. Now, however, walking along the ancient path with Jun Xiaoyao was like looking at the scenery on horseback. All the dangers along the way were eliminated by Jun Xiaoyao. For others, the ancient ultimate road was full of danger and death, but for Jun Xiaoyao, it was as simple as playing house. Yan Rumeng finally understood why the people around Jun Xiaoyao didn't come to him. Being with Jun Xiaoyao, they couldn't gain any experience at all. They felt very safe, and in this safe and boring situation, Jun Xiaoyao and the others finally arrived at the 50th checkpoint of the ancient ultimate road. Chaotic astral ocean. Looking at the rolling vast sea of stars in the distance, even Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but sigh at the wonders of the universe. The entire chaotic astral ocean stretched across the universe. It was incomparably vast, like a dividing line that separated the front and back of the ancient ultimate road. It was like the Chu River and Han boundary in chess. As for this chaotic astral ocean, it was also filled with people from all walks of life and all kinds of chaos. According to the news from the fairy kite, the stronghold of the 13 bandits is located in a place called the Sinful Pit in the chaotic astral ocean. That place is full of chaos and is the gathering place of all kinds of bandits, villains, and demonic cultivators. This time, the 13 bandits won't be able to escape from my hands. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep as he looked into the distance. The 13 bandits of the ancient road, who made people tremble in fear, were like ants in Jun Xiaoyao's mouth. Chapter 652. The galaxy was vast and mighty, rolling in the universe. As far as the eye could see, there was a dazzling light, like the flowing Milky Way. "What's your next plan?" Yen Ruming asked. Jun Xiaoyao took out a mask and put it on his face. It was a ghost mask, looking like crying and laughing. It looked funny, clumsy, and a little scary. When Yen Rumeng saw this, she was slightly stunned. Then, she burst out laughing. "The son of God of the Jun family is wearing such a clumsy and weird mask, like a child's toy. Are you trying to pretend to be a pig to eat a tiger?" Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently, "The 13 bandits' intelligence is not weak, and this is one of their strongholds. I'm afraid they have spies all over the chaotic astral ocean. If we are as unscrupulous as before, I'm afraid the 13 bandits will get the news as soon as we enter the chaotic astral ocean. That will alert the enemy. I don't want to come here for nothing." Yen Rumeng withdrew her smile and nodded. The 13 bandits were related to the foreign realm, so they needed to be careful. If they entered with great fanfare, the 13 bandits would retreat immediately after getting the news. At that time, it would be like drawing water with a sieve. However, what Yen Rumeng didn't know was that Jun Xiaoyao wore the ghost mask for another reason. He learned about it from the fairy kite. The immortal killing bandit also wore a ghost mask and had the ability to devour bloodlines. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but think of that person. The ghost mask girl's shadow left in the heavenly Dao Tower, and the ghost mask woman on the hero spirit altar in the lower bound. There was also the ghost mask left in the bronze immortal palace in the eternal burial ground. Now there was another immortal killing bandit wearing a ghost mask. There was also the Prometha organization and the foreign realm. All of these seemed to be connected by a thread in the dark. Jun Xiaoyao wore the ghost mask because he wanted to know if he really met the immortal killing bandit. How would the immortal extermination bandit react? Jun Xiaoyao looked at the flawless face of Yen Rumeng and shook his head. "Alright, you should cover it up too. You're too beautiful. It's too ostentatious." Bringing such a great beauty to the chaotic astral ocean was undoubtedly like a torch in the dark night, attracting gazes from all directions. "Hee, although I know you don't mean anything else, why do I still feel so happy?" Yen Rumeng laughed. She wouldn't feel anything if she was praised by an ordinary man. However, being praised by a godlike figure like Jun Xiaoyao, even if it was Yen Rumeng, her vanity would be satisfied and she would be very happy. She took out a white veil and put it on her face, revealing only a pair of limpid eyes. Not only did the veil not diminish her charm, it made Yen Rumeng even more hazy and beautiful. After some preparations, Jun Xiaoyao and the other two entered the chaotic astral ocean. The chaotic astral ocean was vast and boundless. Ordinary sky prides would not dare to enter it alone. If they were not careful, they would be sucked into the void vortex. Worse still, they might be devoured by terrifying beings like the star-devouring ancient beast. Generally speaking, sky prides would travel in groups or with some caravans. Jun Xiaoyao and the others had encountered 3 waves of interstellar bandits in the 10 days since they entered the chaotic astral ocean. Splat! Jun Xiaoyao pointed his finger, and a saint-level bandit in front of him exploded into a mist of blood. Meanwhile, in another part of the starry sky, several young sky prides were stunned. They looked at the scene in front of them with disbelief. Which outlawed sky pride killed a saint-level powerhouse so casually? He's wearing a mask. Could he be a powerhouse from the older generation? These young sky prides were traveling together when they unexpectedly encountered interstellar bandits. Just as they were in despair, they saw Jun Xiaoyao and the others passing by. Those bandits attacked right away without saying a word, yet they were all killed by Jun Xiaoyao with a wave of his hand. "If we follow this, senior, we'll be able to reach Titanic Crescent City safely," said one of the female geniuses. They looked at each other and hurried forward to catch up with Jun Xiaoyao and the others who were about to leave. "Senior, please wait," the female sky pride said. "What's the matter?" Jun Xiaoyao asked calmly. His gentle voice stunned the young sky prides. He's not from the older generation? The few of them looked at each other with shock in their eyes. Even an outlawed sky pride from the younger generation could not kill a saint-level powerhouse so easily, right? Could he be a supreme outlawed cultivator? When they thought of this possibility, the sky prides looked even more respectful and humble. Although they came from some major forces, they did not dare to show any disrespect in front of this mysterious young powerhouse. Sir, are you also rushing to Titanic City because of the business alliance of 10,000 tribes summoning order? The female sky pride bowed and asked. Business alliance of 10,000 tribes summoning order? What does that mean? Jun Xiaoyao stroked the tiny jade hair in his arms and said calmly. Hearing this, the sky prides looked at each other in surprise. Another sky pride said, Perhaps you don't know, but some time ago, the second lady of the business alliance of 10,000 tribes Xia clan, Xia Chuqing, was kidnapped by the sinful pit's first sinner. Now, the Xia clan has issued a summoning order to gather a group of cultivators in Titanic City to conquer the sinful pit. I heard that those who are willing to join will be rewarded handsomely. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed under the mask when he heard the young sky pride's explanation. Isn't gathering a group to go to the sinful pit on the way? Moreover, if Jun Xiaoyao entered the sinful pit alone, it would inevitably cause conflict and attract attention. If the 13 bandits detected him in advance, it would alert the enemy. However, if he entered with the large group, he could hide among them and then find the stronghold of the 13 bandits and destroy them with thunderous means. We can give it a try, Yen Ruming, whose face was covered with a veil, said. What a beautiful woman! The young sky prides were stunned. Although Yen Ruming's face was covered with a veil, her eyes were watery, her figure was slender, and her legs were white and slender. There was no need to guess that she was a devastatingly beautiful woman. Yen Ruming smiled slightly, and the sky prides suddenly fell into a trance, as if they had fallen into a dream. Okay, let's go, Jun Xiaoyao said softly. Only then did the heaven's favorites come back to their senses. Their faces were full of embarrassment. They naturally didn't know that Yen Ruming, who had awakened the bloodline of the Skydream butterfly, could affect one's mind with every frown and smile. Only someone like Jun Xiaoyao, who had a powerful primordial spirit, was completely immune to it. Then, Jun Xiaoyao, Yen Ruming, and the tiny jade hair were led by the young sky prides to Titanic City. Chapter 653. Most of the areas in the chaotic astral ocean were very dangerous. Only the ancient cities were slightly safer. Of course, most of these ancient cities were in the outer regions of the chaotic astral ocean. The central and inner regions of the chaotic astral ocean were dangerous places that could not be easily set foot in. In some places, even sacred rulers or 9 heaven supremes would be in danger. The Titanic Crescent City was a rather magnificent city in the outer regions of the chaotic astral ocean. In less than half a month, Jun Xiaoyao arrived at the Titanic Crescent City under the lead of several heaven's prides. The Titanic Crescent City was situated on a small planet. The city walls were as winding as a mountain range, and were made of meteoric iron. Ancient formation patterns were imprinted on them and glowed faintly. The city gates were extremely tall, and there was an endless stream of people coming and going. Perhaps because of the convening order of the business alliance of 10,000 clans, the flow of people in the Titanic Crescent City was several times more than before. On the way to the Titanic Crescent City, Jun Xiaoyao learned about it from the heaven's prides. Although the sinful pit was filled with crooks and honest people, there were bandits everywhere. However, the true leaders of the sinful pit were the 5 main sinners. Each of them was infamous and powerful. Their hands were stained with the blood of countless people. Among them, the strongest was the first sinner. No one knew his true strength, but he was definitely above the supremes. The reason why the first sinner kidnapped the second daughter of the Xia family, Xia Chuqing, was because he wanted the emperor weapon of the Xia family, the treasure basin. It was rumored that the emperor weapon of the Xia family, the treasure basin, was obtained by the eldest daughter of the Xia family, Xia Bingyun, by chance. The treasure basin could contain all the treasures in the world and could even actively sense the location of the treasures. It could be said that the treasure basin played a major role in the business alliance of 10,000 clans for the Xia family to become the most prosperous giant. And Xia Bingyun naturally became the most dazzling pearl of the Xia family. Of course, she had another nickname, which was the Little Rich Lady of the Xia family. As one of the giants of the business alliance of 10,000 clans, the Xia family's wealth and status went without saying. The young Master Fuyun that Jun Xiaoyao killed on the ancient heavenly underworld star was at most a small character in the business alliance of 10,000 clans. Although the business alliance of 10,000 clans was extremely large, it was a loose business organization with many giants. The Xia family was just one of the giants. This was also why the number one culprit of the sinful pit dared to kidnap the second daughter of the Xia family. He knew he had only offended the Xia clan, not the entire business alliance of 10,000 tribes. Inside the business alliance of 10,000 races, there were even some giants secretly fighting each other. It was already good enough that the other big shots did not kick them when they were down. It was impossible for them to help the Xia family. After Jun Xiaoyao and the others entered the Titanic Crescent City, they soon arrived at the encampment of the business alliance of the 10,000 tribes. There were already many Emperor Road sky prides and cultivators from all walks of life gathered here. An elder of the Xia family, who was a sage king, said loudly, "Everyone, this group of criminals from the sinful pit is too audacious. How dare they kidnap the second miss of the Xia family and try to obtain the emperor weapon of the Xia family, the treasure bowl? The Xia family invites all righteous people to join us in our crusade against the sinful pit. Every brother who participates will be rewarded with immortal sources, immortal essences, as well as various divine pills and weapons." Hearing the words of the Xia family elder, the eyes of many cultivators were burning with passion. Not all Emperor Road sky prides were from immortal forces. Most prodigies were short on resources and had no money. Naturally, these rewards were very attractive. Only Jun Xiaoyao shook his head and sneered. He just wanted to gather a group of cannon fodder, yet he made it sound so righteous. Naturally, there was no need to pay the dead. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao was too lazy to expose him. If those people died, so be it. It had nothing to do with him. By the way, the first miss of the Xia family, Xia Bingyun, is temporarily cultivating somewhere and can't come. If she comes later, the sky prides who perform well will be personally received by the first miss and even be rewarded, the Xia family elder said with a slight smile. This time, the reaction of the crowd was much more intense than before. Everyone's eyes were burning with passion, especially the young male sky prides. Their eyes were surging with excitement. What did it mean to be personally received by the first miss of the Xia family, Xia Bingyun? It meant that if the first miss of the Xia family took a liking to them, they might be able to marry into her family. After all, Xia Bingyun was the apple of the Xia family's eye in the business alliance of the 10,000 tribes. She was known as a rich lady. Who didn't want to say, "Rich lady, I don't want to work hard anymore"? If Xia Bingyun really took a liking to them, they would definitely get all kinds of cultivation resources, natural treasures, divine weapons, and supreme artifacts. I must save the second miss of the Xia family with my own hands. That way, I will definitely be received by the first miss of the Xia family. Do you have the ability to do that? If it was so easy to save her, would the Xia family need to make such a big fuss? Many sky prides were arguing. All right, everyone. Those who have decided to go together, sign up here. We will set off in 7 days, the Xia family elder said with a wave of his hand. After that, many sky prides signed up one after another. Not to mention the rewards, just the possibility of being received by Xia Bingyun was enough for many sky prides to take a gamble. If they went all out, they might be able to live off a woman and save 100 years of hard work. Of course, this was what ordinary sky prides thought. At Jun Xiaoyao's level, those who were qualified to let him live off a woman were only forbidden legendary emperors like Luo Shenmi Fei. Even the little demon empress of the demon god palace was not qualified to let Jun Xiaoyao live off a woman, because Jun Xiaoyao's identity as the monarch of the monarch court was enough to be comparable to the little demon empress. After that, Jun Xiaoyao and the others signed up. Of course, they did not use their real names. Otherwise, it would have caused a stir. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. 7 days later, giant starships docked at the titanic Crescent City. Each starship was hundreds of feet long, and its hull was branded with all kinds of defensive arrays. On the deck, there were many offensive arrays that could be activated at the critical moment with the immortal source to explode with shocking lethality. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at it and nodded slightly. The Xia family was indeed one of the giants of the business alliance of 10,000 clans. Of course, they could not be compared to the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao could also feel the faint aura of a supreme being permeating the main starships. They must be the supreme being experts of the Xia family who might confront the first sinner and the others later. "Let's go and board any ship," Jun Xiaoyao said to Yan Rumeng. His main purpose of going to the sinful pit was not to save the second miss of the Xia family, Xia Chuqing. Instead, he was going to find the stronghold of the 13 bandits. Therefore, he did not care about this rescue operation. As for living off Xia Bingyun, Jun Xiaoyao would not fall so low with his identity. Besides, if Jun Xiaoyao really wanted to live off Xia Bingyun, he did not need to do anything. He could just take off his mask and put his handsome face in front of Xia Bingyun. It would be difficult for her not to be tempted. "Sir, we will follow you." The young geniuses also walked up. The female genius who spoke was called Song Fei. After seeing Jun Xiaoyao kill the Saint bandits so easily, they felt that he was a very thick thigh that they needed to hug tightly. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. When the battle started, he could just get rid of them. Jun Xiaoyao and the others boarded a secondary starship, the kind that looked like cannon fodder. At this moment, a green warship suddenly swept over at an extremely fast speed. "That's the warship of the Supreme Family, the Feng family," a genius exclaimed when he saw the warship. Some elders of the Xia family also looked solemn when they saw this and hurriedly went forward to greet them. For this expedition to the sinful pit, the geniuses that were gathered were nothing more than cannon fodder. The ones who could really help the Xia family were the Feng family. Besides, the Taoist of the Feng family should also be here this time. He was one of Xia Bingyun's suitors, and would not miss this opportunity to please Xia Bingyun.